The Pat McAfee Show.
There'll be no rules for our guests, for us, for the things we can talk about.
Yes, speaking his mind.
I've never had a problem expressing my opinions or my thoughts or anything like that.
While being relatable.
I haven't had that manufactured fake-ass celebrity that a lot of people have whenever they go on those big networks. I've had a chance to really build my crew, build my following, build my audience.
And ridiculous.
What am I supposed to do? So I'm supposed to look at something that I can definitely afford and say, nah. Is that what I'm supposed to do?
The Pat McAfee Show starts in 3, 2, 1.
Hello, beautiful people. It is Overreaction Monday, September 19th, 2022, and this packed show begins now. Another full NFL Sunday slate is in the books, and it is time for us to break it all down. Now, I know you're wondering at home while you're watching here, Pat, you're still at that same old studio. You're at that same old desk. What the hell is going on? Well, what the hell is going on is we had a little bit of a delay. We had another little punt situation, and we will have to postpone our Thunderdome presence for another week, and I can't wait for that to happen.
Hell yeah.
Boom.
Your big old steaming bag of shit.
Hey, go give him some five.
Guys, no beard.
This thing flying around here.
Go, turn the lights off. Carry me home.
3. Ladies and gentlemen, we are live from the FanDuel Thunderdome on this beautiful, momentous, glorious occasion that will be remembered as the time we couldn't get the mic on in time because we're in a brand new facility, in a brand new home with 25 cameras. This thing is packed to the gills with greatness. We can't thank you enough for joining us here on this Overreaction Monday, September 19th, 2022. Yes, we have an entire Sunday slate to chat about where records were broken. There was the first time in 2,332 NFL games where something happened. We'll have to talk about that. There's big-time comebacks. There was marvelous play and shitty play. We'll talk about all of that and more from our brand new home here at the FanDuel Thunderdome. Joining me on this stage that is too big, too nice for what we actually do on the day-to-day, the Toxic Table, at Boston Connor, at Ty Schmidt. Boys, new digs, same old doofuses.
That's right.
Bingo.
We made it. We finally made it. Like you said, we've been pushing it off. We've kind of got little bits and pieces of what this is going to be like. It's fucking unbelievable that we get to work in this place every day.
Listen, this is our first day working here. Can't wait for everybody to get the fuck out of here except for us.
That'll be fun.
But with that being said, there's a lot of people to thank for this glorious place that we have. There's a lot of surprises still to be kind of unveiled in here. New studios. We have an entire basketball court. We have like a sports book set up right over here. 9 TVs.
Unreal.
Got to watch games in here yesterday. It was magical. Obviously, Nathan and Matt, I believe Nathan's company did that entire thing. Big thanks to you, Nathan.
Thanks,
Thank
Nate.
you, boys.
Big thanks to the people that set up this entire studio. There's Vig, Deepak, a guy named Derek, and Austin, and a Doug that's currently filming us from his phone right now, even though there's 25 cameras here, and he potentially could be doing something else that he's supposed to be here for. But we appreciate all of you so much. Thank you for everything. To the construction people, including Sean, that oversaw everything, and there's way too many people to say thank you to. This was like a 16 to 18-month project, hired over 70 to 75 different people in numerous different trades. We're very honored and thankful for that, but we know there was a lot of headaches, a lot of setbacks. Thank you all so much for all your fucking hard work.
Thank you, workers.
Thank you to the church that got turned into this Thunderdome, because this place is glorious. We are very lucky to be here, very thankful to be here, and we have the greatest job in the world, and the fact that we can even do this is all because of you motherfuckers that watch every single day. You are the greatest humans on earth. You need to remember that forever. I will forever be indebted to you, and we hope this show can only get better and better. Today's show is a packed one. We have Rap Sheet joining us in a little bit to chit-chat about all the fallout from yesterday. Ooh, Trey Lance, broken ankle.
Whoa.
Sorry about it. So sorry about it. Hey, honestly, It is terrible anytime somebody loses an entire season, let alone whenever it was their first time starting. To go out like that, absolute buzzkill. But Jimmy G, that's why they keep him around, right?
Perfect.
John Lynch and Shanahan look like absolute geniuses. We'll talk to Rappaport about the fallout of that, what the future is going to look like, not only in that particular situation, but many others as well. We'll also have Matthew Hasselbeck joining us.
What?
Yeah, a
Matty?
new segment debuting called Let's Run It Hasselback, where he'll be breaking down some plays from yesterday. I think Tua fans are going to enjoy what they hear from Matt Hasselbeck. We went over it a little bit ago. It should be an incredible usage of our footage rights that we have from NFL Films this season. New studio, new life, new everything. Shout out to Boone, North Carolina. You guys are awesome.
Yeah.
Shout out to this. Look at this fucking shit. Just brought all the papers from the last office.
Every single one of them.
A lot of people thought, new studio, new desk. He is going to bring all the clutter. Wrong-o.
Come on.
I need the clutter. We actually added some things. Boom, new candle. How you doing? Keep moving. Jesus still here, blessing all of us. Stack of paper still around. Rey Mysterio, give me the Louis Vuitton mask. Had to keep that around. Obviously, a picture or two of me and Stone Cold Steve Austin, John Sanders, and the boys at the Talks table. You were able to decorate and keep a little sense of home, too, as we moved into the new Thunderdome here at Boston Connor. Great job up front here on your desk, pal.
Hey, thank you. When we were leaving, I did say maybe some of the stuff goes. Maybe we leave all 50 pairs of the
Spring
sunglasses.
cleaning, you're saying.
Exactly. A little bit of a nice mix-up, especially with how clean this place is now. New headphones, But, yeah, I'm glad to have some of this old stuff. It reminds you of where you've been, reminds you where you're going. Obviously, had to bring the Ty Law back because Patriots are probably going to the Super Bowl again. So, I had to bring Ty Law in.
Big win in Pittsburgh. Obviously, Bill Belichick does his thing. But that offense for the Steelers, and we are missing the third guy that'll be on the stage alongside me every single day. One half of the hammer. Dahn, Cowboys. Tone Diggs.
Miss you, Tone.
Miss you, Tony.
That's where Tone will be. Tone will be right there. Tone's not there. You know why?
Why's that?
Why?
Oh. Tone and his wife had a beautiful baby this morning.
Wow.
Hell yeah.
Congratulations to the Diggses for having a baby. We got babies in this particular office now. We got a brand new studio and facility. The boys in the back, Ad Evan Foxy, Viva Lazito, and Nick Moraldo have a brand new spaceship to operate. How's it going, Foxy? Pretty hot start to begin this whole thing.
Yeah, I'd say we did pretty good. This is unbelievable back here. I cannot believe that I am a part of this. It's crazy that this is our workplace every single day. It is awesome.
They put Foxy in a Maserati back there.
Yeah,
Literally.
wild.
So Foxy went from having like 6 different buttons and other things to have to kind of go with, to now he has 455.
And a million cameras as well.
Yeah, 25 cameras. Foxy, you're going to settle in just fine. Not everything's going to be perfect like at the beginning. Nick, in the back there. Hey, Frank. Frank, how you doing back there? It looks like you're behind a much larger, you're almost putting on a concert every single day, it looks like, with that board in front of you, pal.
Yeah, I feel like I'm on the bridge of a spaceship here, working through some things. Apparently, there's some audio stuff we're going to try and get figured out here.
What are we
Well, I thought we had
talking
we had a
about?
full test run yesterday. That's why we had we spent a good hour and a half, 2 hours in here yesterday with a test run. Because we could have moved in here, technically, our guy Vig, who works his ass off.
That's right.
Alongside Deepak and the boys that put this studio together. We paid a guy named Petro, didn't see him. Saw Vig and the boys every single day working their ass off. We very much appreciate these guys. They said, hey, we could have went live 2 weeks ago. Now, I will say in the last 2 weeks, the way this thing has come together, old Tim McAfee and the boys, really, every day my old man was in here.
Yeah.
Okay? And he's way too old, way too stubborn. You know what I mean?
Sure.
He should just be retired. Made him a millionaire last year. His ass will never stop working, though, because it's literally in his blood.
Right.
Was once a truck driving mover for a long period of time. 2 worst jobs on earth. Tim McAfee signed up to do it and loved it, enjoyed it. The guy loves working. So he's been in here every single day, basically, like 14, 15-hour shifts with each different crew that comes in here. I'm sure he's been a joy to deal with. Okay, so shout out to Sally McAfee as well. But Tim McAfee has really put his sweat and blood into this place.
For sure.
And in the last 2 weeks, it's really come together. So we appreciate the hell out of you, Tim.
Thank you,
And
Tim.
baby
Tim. Love you, Tim.
And baby Tim, take a fucking day off, dude. Imagine that guy dies.
Yeah, unbelievable.
That'd be on me.
Yeah,
And
especially in this place.
And I have told him numerous times, like, hey, go take some days off. He's like, it's almost done, It's almost done. It's like, Jesus Christ, you're going to die in here.
Yeah.
Well, it's church. It used to be. So, maybe Jesus will carry him up to, heaven's gate.
Kept it.
Exactly. There he is right
Had to do
there.
it.
Moving into an old church. All right, let's dive into a little overreaction, shall we, from yesterday. I talked in the open there while we were displaying the brand new FanDuel Thunderdome. I talked about how yesterday in the Week 2 NFL Sunday full slate. Now, there's 2 games still tonight, so there wasn't as many games yesterday as there had been in the week past. Now, tonight, obviously, the Titans and the Bills will clash. That's up there in Buffalo. That should be fantastic. That's on ESPN, I believe. Then on ABC, you have Vikings-Eagles. Can't wait for that. Matt Hasselbeck will come in and break down some film that we need to watch for that game so we know going into gambling so we can keep maybe our super boost.
Hell yeah.
Hot. We hit yesterday. We hit yesterday in a big-time way. But I think yesterday the story is going to be tale of two halves for a lot of different teams.
Yeah.
The 2,331 NFL games that had happened before, and then the streak got broken, was leading by 13 with 2 minutes left or less. The Jets were able to beat the Browns yesterday in a miraculous comeback that was really revolving around stupidity from the Cleveland Browns. And the Cleveland Browns have an Ivy League guy coaching the team.
That's right.
So anytime you have something happen for the first time in 2,332 attempts, you have to chit-chat about it. So let's dive into how we got there. 1, Brownie the Elf.
Of course.
We got attacked last week.
Fucking Brownie.
Big time.
Didn't we? We got attacked last week for Brownie the Elf. We said, what are you, Brownie the Elf in the
What the hell
middle?
is this about?
Mickey Mouse.
You guys literally have the dog pound. Everybody's dogging now these days,
Yeah.
right?
Big time.
This guy's a dog.
He's a dog.
That guy's a dog.
He's a dog.
I'm him. Why? Because I'm a dog.
Exactly.
Like that is happening now more than ever in the past. You have the dog pound. You could put a fucking dog right there in the middle of the field and it'd be awesome.
Barking.
But instead they go with Brownie the Elf. Now, Brownie the Elf, beloved since the 1940s in Cleveland. We did not know that until it was painted on to the field. It was voted upon by Cleveland Browns fans. Hope you're happy. You're 0-1 in a fashion that hasn't happened in 2,331 attempts. You put a dog in the middle of that field. I assume what happens yesterday does not happen. So let's go ahead and dive into how the Jets got this miraculous win with Joe Flacco on the road in Brownie the Elf's house. You look at the clock, 2:09 left in the fourth quarter. The Jets have 0 timeouts, down 7. Cleveland Browns have the ball, 2nd and 6. How you doing? Keep it moving. Everybody on earth knows 2 minutes left. Other team doesn't have timeouts. Guess what? Blasses.
Yeah. Over.
That game is over. That is literally what you're aiming to get to. That is what you're trying to get to. So here we have a play from the Cleveland Browns. Go ahead and run it. Kareem Hunt, absolute dog. Hell of a football player. Gets the first down. Goes out of bounds. Now, he was obviously dancing on the edge, but if he falls down in bounds right there, they're kneeling it out. Congrats to Jacoby Brissett for being an undefeated quarterback with the Cleveland Browns when nobody could have expected that. Instead, Kareem Hunt gets the first down, runs out of bounds. We got to stop the clock now. We got to do this shit again. So the very next play, Cleveland Browns up 7 against the New York Jets. Brownie the Elf's first game. This way, actually, I guess, on the field in Cleveland. 1st and 10 from the 12, so you can still get a first down. Nick Chubb, absolute dog. Oh, yeah, dog, too. 3 tuds on the day, this being his 3rd. Shaking, giving magic. 1st and 10, bus outside. Get off of me. How you doing? Keep it moving. Were the Jets doing no moss? No, they were not. They were trying to tackle him, and Chubb goes in for his 3rd tud as opposed to falling on the 1-yard line. Once again, Kevin Stefanski. Genius.
Yeah.
Andrew Berry, genius. This is a win, clearly, for the Browns on 2 separate occasions on back-to-back plays in the huddle. All we're saying, first down, get down. First down, get down. First down, get down. We're kneeling this motherfucker out. We're celebrating with Brownie the Elf. Everybody's going to call us stupid for putting a goddamn elf in the middle of our field. We just beat the Jets because we did it our way. We're a bunch of dogs. Instead, they go and chase the bone right into the end zone. Oh, my God, now we have life. Joey Flacco, he's not going to be able to do it, is he?
No.
Wrong-o! Joey Flacco, you give him a little opportunity, 2nd and 1 at the 34. He can still sling it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd say.
Now, busted coverage, jogging. It's all right. We're up 13, minute 24 left. No big deal, right?
Don't matter.
No big deal at all. Joey Flacco made a living out of these types of deep balls, blown coverages, pass interferences. He's bringing his sweetness, his eliteness to the New York Jets and getting them a big-time play. Now, all of a sudden, you're down. 1 score, down 6.
That's it.
Well, got to get an onside kick. Ain't nobody can get a motherfucking onside kick anymore with the way the rules are. No run-up, nothing like that.
Not a chance.
Brayton Mann says, how you doing? Keep it moving. Zig, zag, hits that son of a bitch back. Cleveland Browns can't handle it. Jets get an onside kick. Brant Boyer, special teams coach for the New York Jets, probably housing 40 to 50 beers last night because of this. What a moment for Braden Mann, who punted the ball -5 yards last week. Now he comes in a big way with a fake punt for the Jets in the first quarter and an onside kick, one of the first that has ever happened since the new rule change. Oh, no. Joey Flacco, down 6, with time left, no timeouts. How's Brownie the Elf? Is he shitting in his little elf pants, or you think they're still very confident?
No, they're good. You still got to go down and score a touchdown. No chance.
Well, don't you worry about it. They get down to the fucking 15-yard line on that Browns defense. It's supposed to be unbelievable in just a matter of seconds. 3rd and 10 on the 15, have to score a touchdown, down 6. Joey Flacco does what Joey Flacco does and finds the wide-open guy, bang, walking into the end zone. Game's tied because Cleveland Browns missed an extra point just a little bit ago on Nick Chubb's walk-in touchdown, in which he should have fell, and turns out that's all she wrote.
Yeah.
Ends up being a game-sealing interception at the end. Jets get the first win in 2,332 attempts for being down 13 with 2 minutes left to win that game. What an abysmal failure for Brownie the Elf and the Browns. I'm sure they'll be able to bounce back, but that's one they should have had. And when you get later into this epic season, now the AFC North, big question marks right now anyways with what happened yesterday. But as they get later in the season, they're going to look back on that and say, should have fucking won it, did actually win it, fucked it up 3 times.
Yeah, and they would be, first in the division. It's not even like they were going after their first win. They were going to take command of the entire division. And, Brown and the Elf, you're right. He was probably in, Keebler cookies, waiting to celebrate with all the boys, undefeated in Cleveland with Brown and the Elf at midfield. Instead, now I feel like we're approaching Brown and the Elf cursed Cleveland Browns football team at home season. I really do. I'm worried about it.
Well, and congrats to the Jets getting their first September win in 10 years.
Yeah. I mean, that does this shit doesn't ever happen to the Jets ever. They're losing that game 1,000 out of 1,000 times. This really could be the kind of thing that maybe galvanizes them. Their season could be completely different. You come back and then lose that game, and it's all right, whatever. We're probably going to go 0-17. You see Bob Saleh, getting ready to just knock out whoever came in within arm's reach.
His get back coach, hilarious.
Oh, yeah. Guy never stood a chance after they won. I mean, this could really kind of set them up moving forward. It probably won't, but it could.
Still the Jets.
Yeah.
Still the Jets is still the Jets, but I think what Tone would be saying if he wasn't celebrating with his baby right now, congrats to the Diggs' on.
There you go,
Congrats,
Diggs.
Tony.
Good work.
We miss you, Tone.
We do.
Diggs would say the Browns is the Browns.
Exactly.
Because the Browns should have 2-0 record right now with Jacoby Brissett as the quarterback, who they are paying next to nothing. They got a $40 million quarterback just chilling on suspension right now, which a lot of people are against. And instead of stealing one, it goes the complete opposite direction. Where are the Browns going to be? We shall see. There was 2 other miraculous comebacks yesterday. We're talking about game of 2 halves in numerous games because a lot of the games yesterday, we're going to say it, looked boring as fuck.
Oh, yeah,
for a
big
while.
time.
Fresh off of that College Day on Saturday, where App State gets a big win on a Hail Mary and boom, that place goes bananas, and other miraculous endings and the games being close. Sunday seemed like a bit of a snoozer.
Yeah.
And at halftime, some teams really turned some shit around. When you think about the Arizona Cardinals, you can't help but think, what are they ever going to be, Ty?
That's a good question. I don't know.
Are they ever going to be the team that everybody thinks they could possibly be with the money that they've spent and the dogs that they have on that squad? With the roster being the way it has been assembled, although they don't have DeAndre Hopkins, they got a quarterback. Does he watch enough film, you think?
It really does seem like he is so talented. He's so athletic, but it does kind of seem like he just turns it on when he wants to. If he played 4 good quarters, I think they'd beat the shit out of a lot of people. But it kind of seems like they kind of just lollygag their way through, and then all of a sudden it's hey, we might lose this game. Let's turn it on. We kind of need you to get going here. And then you see what he does. It's they march down, they score, they take them to overtime, they score again. They look like a completely different team.
It's an exciting brand of football whenever they're going. But to your point, everything about Kyler has he been consistent? Early in the season looks vastly different than what he looks later in the season. Then we all know what happens when Call of Duty drops.
That's right.
Call of
Falls
Duty
off the
drops.
cliff.
They're not going to win.
No, football doesn't really matter anymore.
Update comes Call of Duty, brand new gun you get to shoot.
Double
double
XP
XP.
weekend.
We got to figure that. Is that a gun? Is that
No,
what that is?
I mean, you get bonus points. You get some of the cooler guns faster because it's double XP. It's pretty cool.
I couldn't even imagine if they dropped a brand new gun on that thing. Kyler would probably be out for 3-4 weeks. I mean, that is actual research, analytics on Kyler's career when those things happen. And I've been a guy that I have lived and died with Kyler Murray.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
I bet on him all the time because I don't think there's a lot of humans like Kyler Murray. I'm a big bet on the anomalies guy.
You'll see it in the way I invest in stocks. I forget what that one app was that we had where there's
Public
or whatever. I'm betting on dudes that are just different. Give me Elon Musk for 1,000.
Yeah.
Why? Because he's an alien. He's going to figure it out. Kyler Murray, I view in the same fashion, and I do wish that they'd be able to just go. And I do wish he'd be able to buy in. And I thought that's what that new contract was going to be for.
Exactly.
But they, just 2 weeks in, get a miraculous win. And maybe this is the thing that says, hey, life's a lot more fun whenever we're playing like this, as opposed to getting our asses beat by the Chiefs a week ago or our asses beat by the Raiders in the first half of this game. Kyler Murray turned this whole thing around with his football play. Yesterday, we saw the longest two-point conversion of all time. It came in the fourth quarter with the Las Vegas Raiders up 23-13. Cardinals had just scored. They had looked terrible all game. Kyler had thrown numerous picks. They looked very bad. But in the fourth quarter, they come alive. Kyler Murray flips the switch. On this two-point conversion, it was 22 seconds long. He ran 84.4 yards, allegedly, due to some sleuth on the internet who did the math. This is the longest two-point conversion in history, and it's just Kyler Murray being Kyler Murray. Yeah. Now, the Arizona Cardinals offensive line was shifting towards Chandler Jones the entire day, so Max Crosby had a field day. Yeah. At the end, whenever they needed it on this two-point conversion, they weren't able to get home. Kyler Murray exposes it, runs around, scrambles, has the time of his life, and has the longest two-point conversion in the history. 23-15, down 8. 8 minutes left for the Arizona Cardinals in Las Vegas. Bottles are popping. There's cocktail waitresses and hostesses everywhere. Yep. 4th and goal. 5 seconds left. Down 8. Obviously gotta have it. Kyler Murray gets the snap. And does the same exact entry into the end zone as he did on the longest two-point conversion of all time. Now it's 23-21. Need another two-point conversion. They go ahead and get a delay of game on the first one because they didn't know what the fuck they wanted to do. You saw Cliff Kingsbury actually say, move it to the right hash. Not sure you're allowed to do that. I mean, they're going to have to look into that logistically. Yeah. If you put it down, you get a delay of game. I'm not 100% sure you're allowed to just move the ball. Now, I might be wrong.
Maybe you can.
But I enjoyed the fact that it happened. I like those tiny little details that we never get to see kind of being exposed because it being on the left hash, being in the middle, being on the right hash completely changes the game. A.J. Green up top all by himself on this two-point attempt. Move, he says. Can't see a fucking thing, throws a dart.
Man.
The behind-the-back view of this, Kyler Murray, who is shorter of stature but incredibly athletic. Only one wide receiver over there, so he's telling A.J. Green to go there, who had dropped a touch in the past, hits and has to look up at the Jumbotron to see if it's completed or not because Kyler can't fucking see shit. This is what people talk about whenever they say it's hard to be an undersized quarterback unless you can find your windows and be precise. He's looking at the Jumbotron to see if he can even see it because there's guys standing in his way.
Come on, AJ.
Unbelievable ball. Unbelievable athleticism to make this thing extended. Unbelievable throw to get this thing to overtime. Overtime, they're not able to score, and neither are the Raiders. The Cardinals' defense shows up in a big way and makes obviously a massive fumble on Hunter Renfrow here, who seems to be so damn quick. Bang! Ball's out. Give me that. We should not have won, but we just stole one in Sin City, says the entire sideline of the Arizona Cardinals. Massive comeback. I believe at halftime, I don't remember what score was at halftime. But anyways, massive comeback in the second half. I think it's one of the first times. It is the first time that a quarterback has ran in a touchdown and thrown a touchdown, ran in a two-point conversion, and thrown a two-point conversion in the history of the NFL or something like that at Boston College.
Yeah, it's absolutely insane. I think it was like 17-3 or something, so at halftime. So it really was a bloodbath for the Cardinals. But like that's why the Kyler Murray thing is so interesting, because there is the fact that it's like, yeah, he doesn't watch film when he plays Call of Duty, but then it's the other fact that, hey, when everything goes wrong and it's the unscripted plays, nobody can do what he can do, and that's why he's so good.
Well, not nobody. Let's not get crazy, because there is another guy that just broke Michael Vick's record actually yesterday. Lamar Jackson in another give me my motherfucking money outing.
No kidding.
Okay? Watching Lamar Jackson play football the last 2 weeks. Now, last week was against the Jets, but
Still.
Jets just beat the Browns.
Yeah, good team.
Right? Pretty big deal. I mean, pretty big deal. Lamar Jackson yesterday becomes the first player in NFL history to have a 75-yard passing touchdown and a 75-yard running touchdown. And you might wonder about that 75-yard running touchdown, why it's such a big deal. He added 18 pounds this offseason. This motherfucker's running around looking like a linebacker, outrunning corners who have a 15-yard head start on him. Lamar Jackson is still the alien that we think he is, and here he is on a 3rd and 2. Third quarter. See you later. He's got 60 pounds on that guy that's chasing him right there. No big deal. He's into the end zone with a front flip. Obviously, it's the same type of like play action, come across, open it up. If he sees a hole, he takes the hole. Melvin Ingram having trouble there keeping up, even though he would come up big in the end of this game. Lamar Jackson was on track to have maybe the greatest football game in the history of football games.
Sure.
Yeah.
His passer rating was perfect.
Yep.
He had a dime to a guy named Bateman across the middle where he put it in only one spot and one spot alone. That was a spot where Bateman could catch it and 75 yards later do his dance, put that shit on in the end zone against a Miami Dolphins team that couldn't stop a damn thing early and looked like Lamar Jackson was going to be able to do whatever the fuck he wanted. But the story of NFL Sunday Week 2 is what?
Not that.
Comebacks.
Yeah.
That's right.
It wasn't about Lamar Jackson having a perfect passer rating and doing things with his legs that no quarterback has ever done and breaking one of Michael Vick's records for the amount of 100-yard rushing games for a quarterback.
Yep.
He has 11. Michael Vick had 10. So that's where Lamar Jackson is. That's why when Lamar Jackson doesn't accept a deal that isn't the biggest deal, not even in the NFL, but in his own division, he could say, hey, fuck you, I'm not doing it.
Yeah.
But that'll get forgotten about because Tua showed up in the fourth quarter. The fourth quarter boys of the Dolphins, from waddling to cheetahing around, were fantastic. Tua just slices and dices in the fourth quarter. It was 28-7, okay, at halftime for this game. 35-13, I believe, going into the fourth quarter. Everybody thought everybody was out, and Tua just came back and sat in the pocket and delivered rocks everywhere. I think this was Tua's coming out party. I think this was McDaniel, who in a press conference afterwards said, I told the boys that I was hoping we'd face, what a play. Gesicki, by the way, seemed to always be open.
Yeah.
Seemed to always be open, and his gritty was absolutely terrible.
Horrible.
McDaniel in the press conference afterwards said, I told the boys in the night before meeting that I was hoping, we'd face some adversity because I like to see how the boys respond. This is his exact quote from the night before to the Miami Dolphins because the way he ends it is hysterical and I think talks about the culture that they're currently building down in Miami.
I mean, we've been talking about it. We just had a game where we were able to have the lead the whole game. And so I the night before, I told the guys that, I was really hoping that we'd get some adversity in this game. And, I want to see how we respond to a deficit. And apparently they just took me way too literal.
That's great.
Yeah.
It's beautiful. I like the fact that that is something that he mentions in the post-game press conference, kind of opening up a little bit about what he's doing. That team seems to really have it figured out. And Tyreek Hill, still unguardable in fucking Miami.
Yeah, absolutely. And that really is one of those, you come back and win a game like that with a young head coach and kind of all this hype behind the Dolphins, it's tough to, they're for real, I think. I mean, and Connor and I were talking about this before the show, on that last drive where they tied the game or where they went ahead, McDaniels, he calls, a draw up the middle with maybe 40 seconds left, and Edmonds gets about 25 yards. And it's just you can tell it's little stuff like that where it's a rookie head coach maybe panics and they end up, throwing 3 incompletions, and then they're in a 4th and 18 and they have to just throw one deep in the end zone. He really does, we talk all the time about chess and stuff like that. It does seem like he kind of sees everything on the field and he knows exactly what he needs to do to put Tua in spots where he can be successful, because you get Waddle and Tyreek Hill the ball in open space. You see what they did yesterday.
Yakety yak.
Yeah.
A couple blown coverages as well. Can't wait to hear what Darius Butler has to say about that because he's, a noted Dolphins fan.
Right.
Of course.
That's a good point.
Hey, that Dolphin fins up. Fins to the left, fins to the right community is pumped. They got to be.
They should be.
They've been waiting a long time. And it was fun to see Tua in that 2-minute situation.
Yes.
Because last year he was getting pulled out in those situations because allegedly they were trying to lose.
Yeah, that was kind of the thing.
Good point. Yeah.
Allegedly. But I enjoyed watching Tua kind of sit in there and figure it out. Hasselbeck's going to break down some plays here in the next hour. I think that are going to make Miami Dolphins fans be like, yes, we got a coach. We got a brain at coach. And we got a team that is empowering what Tua can do and what they can't do. Now, they don't have that fourth quarter. Are we still having this conversation?
Absolutely not.
No, but we can tell early in the season who's going to have it, who's not going to have it. The ball seems to bounce in the way of teams that are going to go on a run. And there's some alarming stats about teams that go 0-2, 2-0, and 1-1. And although the Colts are 0-1-1, so they don't make it onto this graphic, that's a shame. There are some real percentages since 1990 about why this is maybe make or break week 2. So if you go 2-0 in the first 2 weeks, obviously, of the season, you have a 63% chance to make the playoffs. Pretty fucking good.
Yeah.
High.
You go 1-1, 42% chance, okay? A little bit less. But if you go 0-2, 11.3% opportunity to make the playoffs, which is all you're trying to do. Now, there's been 0-2 teams that have gone on a run and done miraculous things. But if we listen to Lombardi at all, or anybody else that's come on, they're like, no, teams have to start hot. This isn't just about like, oh, teams get hot later. It's like, no, you start good, and then you get better. The teams that kind of come sputtering into the season and kind of stink, those are the teams you know about, probably not going to make it in the end. Which leads me to the Indianapolis Colts.
Yikes.
Yeah. Huh. Interesting to watch.
They were out a lot of people.
Sure.
Michael Pittman Jr., the number 1 wide receiver, guy who ran over to our microphone at training camp, he was out.
He was?
He's a good guy, too.
Great guy, seemed like it. I always like the fact, looking back on it now, that he told one quarterback last year, nah, you can't get my number, cuz.
Yeah.
I'm going to be here longer than you. How did he do, by the way? Better than Matt Ryan is what everybody's saying? Is that what everybody's saying? Commanders fans, I was right. I was right. Admit it. I was right. There's nothing wrong with it. There's nothing wrong with Carson Wentz other than the fact if you're a fan of the team that he's playing for, you're going to have to ride with him. That's the way it goes. I was right. You all came after me last week when I told you I was right. You just watched another week of Carson Wentz. Tell me I was right. The highs are very high. The lows are, what the fuck are we doing?
Yeah.
What are we even doing?
He's a maniac out there.
The Lions get a win over the Commanders. First game that the Lions have been favored in 24 games, and they were never not in control. There was a couple situations where the Commanders came back and Carson made some great plays. Carson made some incredible plays. Lions end up getting the win. Commanders fans who have been attacking me because the things I say about Carson, I can't say this, I can't stress this enough. I think when Carson Wentz is playing great football, he is fucking great. But just like in the first half, and just like last week in like second and third quarter, Carson Wentz is going to do stuff in there where you're going to go, oh, why are we even doing that? What are we even doing? Fumble, this, safety happens, there's another drop pick in the middle of it, and then he'll come on the other side of that, and it is unbelievable. Carson Wentz is a great football player when he's playing great. But there are going to be moments this season where your cardiac commander's commie's heart is going to have a little, what are we doing? I was right, okay? Just know that I was right, and you will continue to see that throughout the season. There will be a run, too, of a few games where he's going to be on fire. It's going to be awesome.
Yeah.
And hopefully this is the stop. The Commanders are the stop where he just continues that forever once he does. Now, history tells us that is not the case. No way. Carson Wentz plays Carson Wentz football, but I am a fan of it, and he wants every play to be the best play of all time, so I have respect for it, admirable of it, but I'm happy he's not my quarterback, the team that I'm cheering for anymore, although I hope he has success. Now, the quarterback that I'm a fan of right now, because he plays for the Indianapolis Colts, what the fuck is he doing? What is Now, Michael Pittman's not in, okay? Michael Pittman's not in. He hasn't had all of his weapons ever on the field. We've talked about the team not having a lot of proven weapons, and the team has told us we like our young guys. Young guys can't get open. Seems like the young guys can't get open. It's the men's league. Weren't able to do it in Houston. Certainly weren't able to do it yesterday against the Jacksonville Jaguars down there in Duval. It looked incredible down there.
It did.
Peterson had that brand new hair.
Oh, yeah.
Beach blonde.
I mean, it looked very good. It beat the fucking Colts 24-zip. No Shaq Leonard, no DeForest Buckner, no Michael Pittman Jr., nobody that you even know really on the team is playing other than Matt Ryan. So I'm not at full panic, shit my pants, this team fucking sucks state yet, like a lot of people are.
Sure.
A lot of people around Indianapolis are looking for Frank Reich to get fired today.
Hell yeah.
Last night, before he even got on the plane from Jacksonville to Indianapolis, people are looking for Frank Reich to get run out of town. Sure. And there was a lot of people tweeting last night, oh, you thought it was Carson's fault. You thought it was Carson's fault. Bury Matt Ryan. I mean, Matt Ryan has certainly not looked good.
No.
And there's been a lot of moments where it's like, oh, I thought we were going to get like a veteran leader who's going to be on top of everything. And like, hey, this is what we're going to do. We'll be able to manage. Jonathan Taylor only had like 5 touches going into the fourth quarter or something like that because Doug Peterson's offense was able to stay on the field. Defense wasn't able to get out there. So I'm not giving up hope yet, but it does appear as if the Colts might fucking stink. But wait until all their guys are back before we view them. 11.3% chance of making it into the playoffs if you start 0-2. We're 0-1-1, so I'd assume it's a little bit higher than that. And we went 1-5 last year, I think, to start the entire season. So there's still a lot of hope, but goddamn, that looked terrible. 24-zip in the division to Jacksonville is a tough fucking look for the Indianapolis Colts, who have spent
a lot of money. And that offensive line does not look good at all in pass protection. So we can't really judge anything, but they're paying people at every position. And I'm assuming this is what Jim Irsay is saying. Brother, I'm fucking paying everybody, and these guys can't win a goddamn game. What is going on? They look trash.
There really is no excuse for it. Like, I get it, everyone's out early, but with all the hype that everyone was putting on the Colts coming into the year, and to your point, like, yeah, they were on the field. The Jags offense was on the field a lot, but Jonathan Taylor is the best player on the team. Like, it doesn't matter what's going on. Like, you can't ever get into a situation where it's like you get down by multiple scores and they feel like they have to pass. Like, they've been putting themselves in a corner where, like, they're putting way more on Matt Ryan's shoulders than they initially wanted to. Like,
$43 million.
Yeah, exactly. Coming into the year, though, it was kind of like, hey, Jonathan Taylor might win the MVP this year, you know. And then Frank said the thing like, well, we don't want him to win the MVP this year, which was pretty fucking stupid in hindsight. But either way, like, putting all this Matt Ryan isn't the same guy he was 5 years ago. You know, like, you brought him in kind of for, like, the veteran leadership and to be, like, a steady hand in the locker room and the team and everything. Like, this is Jonathan Taylor's team for the most part. He was one of the best players in the NFL last year, and I feel like they just continually put themselves in situations where they either get down big and they can't run, they have to just abandon it, and they have to put more on Matt Ryan's shoulders. Like, they do need to turn it around quick, because I don't know. I mean, we know Jim Irsay, he ain't putting up with this shit much longer.
Yeah, I don't think so. Neither is the city. It seems like they're getting a little loud, but obviously the GM, Chris Ballard, and head coach will say they're always going to get loud. And if we turn this around, we turn this around. 11.3% making the playoffs after going 0-2.
Sure.
We would assume it's up to like 14% if you're 0-1-1. So it's not 0 to 100.
That's true.
But nothing looked good yesterday, especially for a quarterback you're paying $43 million to. Out a weapon, and Michael Pittman, who was definitely valuable.
Right.
Yeah, number one.
And there's others, but still.
Pierce wasn't playing.
Pierce out as well, probably number 2. You spent a first rounder on him.
Yeah.
He dropped a tud in the first week, missed the
he
second week.
Yep.
So let's wait till we get our team back before we completely call it quits. But damn, it's getting ugly.
Yeah, definitely don't call it quits, but I mean, they fucking stink. Like, I really.
Whoa.
I care about Indianapolis. I really do. They fucking suck, and they need to change everything. Really. They're paying Matt Ryan $43 million. I think you're better off with Carl at this point, looking back at last year. And now, like, yeah, sure, they get down. You don't have to go away from Jonathan Taylor. You can run him 30 times, and he should be run 30 times, whether you're down by 10 or you're down by 20. Like, give him the fucking ball.
You think that's offense coordinator issue?
I don't think it's offensive coordinator issue, and I saw it a lot. Fire that fucking guy, okay? I'm sorry. I like Frank Reich. I think he's a good person.
You're calling for jobs. Let's not get too negative
again.
This is what the people are saying and you're saying.
And the only reason I'm saying this is because my owner's telling me that, you know, I'm getting 2 Super Bowls by the time 2030 comes around. And there is not one game over the last 2 years where you're like, yeah, this team's going to go win a Super Bowl.
Even though they seem to be on paper built for one.
Great team on paper. You got a good offensive line. You got
but
a good defense.
But the offensive line doesn't look good at all.
It's tortured. And granted, you know, the Jags might have a really good D-line with Josh Allen and Travon Walker. Like, that could be a possibility, but you can't be losing 24 to fucking nothing with a team that should be primed for a run with a quarterback who's getting paid $43 million. You still have to pay other players on the team. Quentin Nelson just got paid. It's not like he looked like, you know, a game breaker like he did before. It's just despicable to watch, honestly.
All right, well, we'll move on. It was tough watch yesterday.
Brutal. Feel bad for the city. I really do, and the people.
They'll turn around.
They'll turn
Yeah, they'll get C.J. Stroud.
We have some breaking news in the NFL due to this situation right here. So everybody saw the fight that happened yesterday between Mike Evans and, obviously, Lattimore.
Yep.
It has come out and been made official by Ian Rappaport that the Bucs wide receiver, Mike Evans, will be suspended 1 game, which is against the Packers next week. He obviously is quite a weapon for Tom Brady and the Buccaneers, but he's also an absolute dog. So we go back to 2017 whenever a fight occurred on the sideline of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. It's between Marshawn Lattimore and, at the beginning of this whole thing, Jameis Winston, who is now the quarterback for the New Orleans Saints. So everybody wonders how yesterday happens. Well, it starts in 2017 with this particular play right here. Lattimore says, get the fuck on. Jameis says, now you go over there. Now, Jameis was benched at halftime for Ryan Fitzmagic, and they end up losing 30-10. And Mike Evans goes, boom! to Lattimore on the sideline, gets on top of him, throws a couple strikes.
Yeah.
Mike Evans was actually asked after the game yesterday if he would be suspended or he thought he'd be suspended. He said, no, in 2017, that was an actual cheap shot. And I wasn't even suspended for the rest of the game. You go to yesterday now, where Marshawn Lattimore and Bruce Arians get into it on the sideline after a Scotty Miller incompletion, where it appears as if the Buccaneers think that Marshawn Lattimore was all over him. Bruce Arians and Marshawn Lattimore have a little bit of a give and take. Bruce still on the sideline, no headset. He's supposed to be a consultant. It looks like he's still acting as head coach down there. Then all of a sudden, Marshawn Lattimore tells Tom Brady something, and Tom Brady actually says, fuck you, bitch. And then Lenny pushes Lattimore, and then Mike Evans, boom! Whoa. This time from the front, takes him down. A spear comes in from behind. Mike Evans ends up on the ground. But what a 15, 16-yard lead up to a double shot to the chest of Lattimore, which is a beautiful thing. Mike Evans was asked after the game, what am I supposed to do? It was Tom Brady. He pushed Tom Brady. What am I supposed to do? And obviously Tom Brady goes back for more. We saw this with Tyrann Mathieu in the Super Bowl. Leonard Fournette gets one. Then Tom Brady gets a push. Then Mike Evans said, motherfucker, did I not show you in 2017 not to talk to any of my teammates ever? I like that Lattimore's a dog. I like that Mike Evans sticks up for his teammates. Don't love that he's suspended for a game. I'm sure he won't either, nor Tom Brady. The Bucs get a big-time win in New Orleans. First time of Tom Brady's tenure. But now next week against the Packers, a big-time NFC opponent. They will be without their number one wide receiver in Mike Evans. Joining us now, the man that broke that news, senior NFL insider for the league and the network itself, host of the weekly wrap-up of Rap Sheet and Friends, us being the friends, he being Rap Sheet. Ladies and gentlemen, Ian Rappaport.
Hey, baby, Rap Sheet.
Rap, what up, baby?
What's going on? How are you?
Rap, I want you to see what you look like in this studio right now, because this is what is happening here.
Let me see.
Look at you. Look at you.
Wait, I can't see.
Yeah.
God, I look amazing.
Yeah, you sound terrible. You do look amazing. You sound terrible. We are very thankful.
Bad?
Yeah, you sound really bad. I'll probably have to call you back, actually. Talk?
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Yeah, I got to call back.
Yep.
It sounds like shit. Got to figure that one out. Hey, Rap, you look good. Sound like shit.
Yeah, that is so cool.
Yeah, he looks.
Crystal
Yeah,
clear.
that's unreal.
This thing?
Yeah.
Like you see, there's even a camera angle here from up over my shoulder. If I'm in a long sit down, like I'm Bob Walters, you can actually get the shot over my head to the thing. 25 cameras in this place. New studios to be unveiled as they come in. We're not completely finished with this place, believe me.
No.
Very close, though.
A lot of empty walls.
Yeah?
A lot of empty walls. Gonna have to get this place decorated. That's our spot, though.
I didn't even know there was a camera up there.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, it's this one right here. Yeah. Hey, how you doing?
Tucked away back there.
Good to see you up there.
Look at that.
Rims are very stiff.
Oh, they are. Gonna have to
Very,
put
very
those in.
stiff, but the nets make a sick sound. We were running, Ty and I yesterday during our test, we were running a little up
Little
and
three-man weave, yeah.
yeah, running a
with
little
two
weave
guys,
back and
but-
forth. It was awesome.
Yeah.
Very tired. Very, very winded. Oh, ladies and gentlemen, joining us again because he is going to have to get out of here relatively soon, Ian Rappaport.
Hey, Rap Sheet.
All right, this is better.
Oh,
There we
yes,
go.
you sound much
Let's
better. Let's get right into it. Mike Evans suspended a game. Even he mentioned that in 2017, when he actually blindsided Marshawn Lattimore, he wasn't even kicked out of that game or suspended. How come this took place? What do you think went into the ruling, Ian Rappaport?
All right, so here's the ruling from John Runyon, which we just got this letter that he wrote to Mike Evans, basically saying Evans is prohibited from unnecessarily running, diving into, cutting, or throwing the body against or to a player who is out of the play. Basically, what he did is contrary to the general understanding of the principles of sportsmanship, which is not nice. Runyon wrote, after the play, you were walking toward the sideline. You noticed your teammates engaged, which you discussed. You violently threw your body and struck an unsuspecting opponent, which was part of the confrontation. You knocked your opponent to the ground, and the melee ensued. So basically saying that Mike Evans is the reason for the big melee, which if you watch, yeah.
Yeah, but if it wasn't Mike, it would have been somebody else because it's Tom Brady.
Right.
So I think that is probably something that Mike Evans was trying to relay
Right.
back to Runyon, former player, right? Runyon, former player for sure.
Former player, but takes this real seriously. But I would also say for Mike Evans, this is not like 2017 because he's now a repeat offender. So this is his second suspension for something, similar, same guy, right? And I think it's pretty safe to say him and Marshawn Lattimore are not exactly the greatest of friends.
Yeah, I think
potentially.
So. I think you're right. Yeah.
So a lot went into this, but his history was a part.
Two great athletes. Yeah. Two great players, same division.
Probably have a lot more in common than they know.
Yeah, if they just sit down, I'm not saying either of them smoke dope, but they sit down, pass the peace pipe around, probably like each other a lot.
I'm sure they would.
Maybe even have a beer.
They'll figure that out one day, though.
Mm-hmm. Hopefully.
I like that there's still a little bit of, fuck you.
Yeah.
Division rivals.
You know what I mean? I like
I mean, when I will say this, like, there was a lot of games on yesterday, and a lot were more exciting than that game as far as score goes. I watched a ton of it because it was so intense. Like, that was how it's sort of supposed to be played, I felt like.
Okay, the Perriman touchdown from Tom looked good. Other than that, the Saints dominated basically that game. They don't get a win. Mike Evans gets suspended against the Packers next week. Excited to hear that. I know you're on a tight time crunch. We want to use your brain as much as possible. Trey Lance breaking his ankle. Terrible. Moment of silence for Trey Lance having two healthy ankles. That pass. This figures out the situation for the Niners, right? They have to be thankful that this whole thing kind of took place. Not that a guy got hurt. Never want to see a guy get hurt. But now there doesn't have to be the, like, Kenny Pickett chants that are happening in Pittsburgh. If Jimmy came in, picked up right where he left off, threw a couple touchdowns, the team seems to like him. Now they can delay this decision another year. Not that anybody's happy Trey Lance got hurt. I'm not saying that. But it has made it pretty easy for the Niners almost, hasn't it?
Right. Off the top, it's bad. It's all bad. And, like, for Trey Lance, who gets this big opportunity, the timing could not be worse because it's going to be the whole year of Jimmy now. And, like, I hate to say this, but you watch the field, you watch him come in, and it felt like everyone was, like the pace picked up, the level of play picked up. Like, he looked good. They looked good as an offense. Like, and I know how well-liked Jimmy is in the locker room. Not saying nothing about Trey, but I know how well-liked Jimmy is in the locker room. Like, I imagine this will be pretty seamless. Look, they're a good team. They got a good roster. There is a chance that he leads them to the playoffs again, just like he led them deep in last year and a couple years ago to the Super Bowl. It at least opens up the door to, like, what is going to happen next year if Jimmy comes in again and leads them to the playoffs again when you have Lance, who has barely played in 2 years, unfortunately.
Any other injuries around the NFL that are notable here, either tonight or from yesterday?
Tonight, the big one is Gabe Davis.
Okay.
He sprained his ankle in almost not a walkthrough, but almost a walkthrough on Saturday, I believe it was. Yeah, Saturday, because they play Monday. I would say he's real questionable for tonight's game.
Damn.
They'll give him a chance, but it does not sound good. So, if you have him in fantasy, I probably would not play him.
Yeah, or anytime touchdown scores for
good to know.
Right.
I mean, I'm not – whatever you do there, if you want to not include him in that stuff, that would probably be a good idea.
Yeah, because he does score.
He does.
So take him out of the parlay because probably not going to play is what you're saying.
I don't know anything about your parlay.
You do.
But probably makes sense.
Yeah, you have a brain. Oh, sorry, fantasy, Ian. Fantasy.
Yeah, no, fantasy is very different.
Connor, your question for Ian is go ahead, yeah.
Just two more quick injuries.
Yep.
James Conner, probably going to be okay with an ankle. That's pretty minor. Leonard Williams getting an MRI. Maybe miss some time, but probably not more than 1 or 2 weeks. So those are kind of the main ones today.
Relatively healthy, not Trey Lance, terrible. Quarterback goes down. That's not great. Franchise quarterback goes down. Relatively healthy Sunday, it sounds like.
Yeah, I mean, except, obviously Trey Lance. Oh, and then a couple Broncos. You got Jerry Jeudy, who hurt his sternum, his chest.
Jerry.
Probably going to be okay, but, that's kind of another one to watch for. But compared to last week, much, much, much quieter.
Connor, your question for Ian Rapport.
Yeah, Rapshi, with the Lamar contract, he's alluded to the fact that they might still be negotiating, but is there any chance that they get a deal done before he goes on and wins another MVP and have to pay him $750 million?
Guaranteed.
I mean, first of all, I know a lot of attention is about the contract, but he's playing so well. He is. Tua was great yesterday, which
he
really
always
crazy.
plays like that, right? Yeah. That's literally how he always plays.
Yeah, right. I mean, the beginning yesterday was that was a great catch. The beginning yesterday was he looked awesome.
Aguilar.
I would say this.
Hell yeah.
I know we talked about a deadline. The Ravens have done some big contracts mid-season, so I wouldn't expect something, but it would make sense if at least they continue talking, because there is a point where even if you set a deadline, you say, all right, we're not talking about this but after week 1, there is a point where it makes sense for all parties to do something. So I would expect them to at least keep their minds open. But, if he's going to play it out, like, this is how you play.
It seems like it's yodely the price. Every first player in NFL history to have a 75-yard touchdown pass and throw. Also becomes 1,100-yard rushing games, which passes Michael Vick to become the all-time leader. And that already has an MVP in his book and a playoff win, and has never gotten in trouble, only been beloved. That price continues to go like this, and he's still pulling away from corners at a linebacker size. What a fucking awesome guy. Can't wait to see it. Last question for you here, Rap. We know you got to go. Go ahead, Ty.
Rap Sheet, last week you mentioned Elton Jenkins, kind of being questionable. He ended up going for the Packers last night, and maybe it was a little rusty, but looked pretty good. With Bakhtiari, too, you basically said that week 3 was kind of what they were circling. Is that going to be another deal where they're kind of going to wait until Sunday and it'll be a game-time decision, or are we expecting him to play on Sunday?
I would say for Bakhtiari, as you guys know, I will be cautious because you really never can tell. Jenkins, I didn't really find out that he was going to play until probably a couple hours before the game, so they really wanted to make sure. And I would say, considering that was his first action, looked good and really helped them. This was the week for Bakhtiari that they've sort of circled. I like him a lot, just honestly, personally, so I hope he gets out there. They want to make sure he's healthy, but this was always sort of the goal, was get to week 3, and maybe you can do it. So I think if all goes well, you'll see him, but you sort of want to keep your fingers crossed because it's been a tough road.
If all goes well, we'll see you again at some point this week with news.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Wouldn't it be?
Something that would help.
Oh, Gabe Davis probably not playing tonight.
Oh, yeah.
Anything else? 2 games tonight, Ian. Anything else for this evening we should think about?
Josh Gordon was elevated for the Titans.
Is he going to get used?
Elevated.
Is he going to get used?
He'll be used. Yeah, he'll be used. If Gabe Davis doesn't play, Khalil Shakur is going to be the guy who steps in, mostly group effort, but he'll be the one who takes a lot of his snaps if that helps at all. And I think that's it.
All right, we appreciate the hell out of you, buddy. Good luck on your TV hit. You look fantastic. You're the man. How about
your studio looks awesome? I look awesome in it, but you guys also look good.
Hey, we want to thank you. We can't wait till you get out here and see this thing live and in person, pal.
I cannot wait. Take a picture of my face in your studio and send it to me so I can put it on Instagram.
All right, Ian Rappaport.
Shut up.
Thanks, Ian. All right, we're not doing it. Yeah, way to go, Ian.
Whatever.
Way to go. Hope you real home run there at the end, Ian.
Yeah, just tell us the news, clown.
Why are you so negative to Ian?
What's going on?
I don't know. He used to be a reporter in New England. Now he's not. So he almost kind of left us hanging.
Hey, New England, by the way, let's talk about it before this hour ends, before A.J. Hawk joins us. Remember, in the next hour, we'll have Matt Hasselbeck coming in to debut a brand new segment called Let's Run It Hasselback, where he will break down a couple clips that we maybe didn't notice everything that we had to see. I think Tua Tagovailoa fans will enjoy it, as will Lamar Jackson fans. And then in the third hour, he'll be breaking down tonight's game. We got some games. We got some good shit cooking in this brand new studio. But the New England Patriots, are they all the way back? I think the issue here with the Pittsburgh Steelers, and I'm kind of bummed that Tone isn't here, because an overreaction meltdown from a Yinzer talking about Matt Canada's offense would be fantastic. Now, I know Nick's shaking his Italian head back there saying, yes, that is the problem. But there's a video coming from Snoop Dogg from years ago when there was a completely different offense coordinator where he looked in the camera and he said, hey, Mike, we need to get a new motherfucking offensive coordinator.
This guy fucking sucks.
That is hitting the Yinzer universe right now yet again, because it seems to be a similar story. Here's what Snoop Dogg said years ago about a different offensive coordinator in Pittsburgh.
Man, the Pittsburgh Steelers need a new fucking offensive coordinator. This guy sucks. Coach Tomlin, this is Snoop Dogg, man. Fire that motherfucker and get us a real offensive coordinator.
Okay, so that wasn't about Matt Canada, and I assume Matt Canada loves Snoop Dogg, and I also assume Coach Tomlin did not need Snoop Dogg to tell him that he was Snoop Dogg. But nonetheless, one of the most recognizable faces on earth. I appreciate the fact that he was like, hey, I'm putting my name on this, and if you don't know my name, this is what I'm saying. This offense coordinator fucking stinks. And remember, Snoop Dogg, football coach.
Oh, yeah.
So Mitchell Trubisky, I think they're just trying to baby him into things. Seems to be a lot of short passes, just like we saw with Ben Roethlisberger last year, with a lot of the run game. And defenses can just prey on that.
Yeah.
And then New England was able to run the rock, which is not normal against the Pittsburgh Steelers. And without T.J. Watt, there's a vast different amount of pressure getting on the quarterback. We all saw Aguilar's incredible catch down the sideline from Mac Jones, but it felt like New England was dominating that game. You have to feel great about where you're at all of a sudden. Last week, you guys are the shits. Now it looks like maybe it's starting to click a little bit at Boston Connor.
Yeah, and kind of the sweet part about the offense, because you mentioned Aguilar, and they did control the game. the drives to start the game in both the first half and the second half, like the scripted drives, it feels like they go right up the field. Like they walk down, they ended up kicking a field goal because when it gets tighter, especially against the Steelers, they're pretty damn good. But yeah, I feel great about the team. The defense is good. Mitch, my biggest worry was that Mitch was going to get pulled because Tomlin was going to listen to this fans chanting, Kenny, Kenny, Kenny.
Not saying we knew this was going to happen, but a lot of these situations we kind of knew were going to happen. After they lost by the San Francisco 49ers to the Chicago Bears, who might not be a good team. Mm-hmm. Chicago Bears might not be a good team. But that first week they were in a monsoon. You can't really judge anybody in that thing. There was already a chance for Jimmy coming in. Yeah. Now, Trey Lance's injury, we can't say it's enough. Terrible. Okay? Yeah. Nobody needs to go through a broken fucking ankle. That's not cool. His career, who knows what he was going to become. But for the San Francisco 49ers, they look like geniuses because they paid Jimmy on the back end. The Steelers look like geniuses for bringing in number 20 overall pick and using a quarterback. When will they have Kenny dive in there? And will it matter with that offensive coordinator? I'm not 100% sure if it does.
Also, it seems like the offensive line is a massive issue. And, you know, for whatever reason, it's always, hey, their Mitch stinks. Or last year it was Big Ben, can't do it anymore. They just, like, if they can't protect him, what do you expect Mitch to do? Like, that might be all they can do. I mean, granted, you know, a lot of that maybe does fall on the offensive coordinator because you kind of still just have to figure it out. It's like no one's going to, you know, just because the O-line stinks doesn't mean that gives him a pass, but that might be all their offense can do.
Yeah, and it seems like the offense has been the problem for Pittsburgh for a long time.
Yeah.
Right? Snoop Dogg, that's from years ago.
Yeah, years.
That's from years ago, Snoop Dogg. Because there's those glory days where you give the ball to the bus, and guess what those big old feet were doing? They were dancing. Mm-hmm. They were moving. Roethlisberger was hitting Hines Ward for a nice third down pickup. There's been a lot of offense in the past, nostalgia that's been fantastic.
Oh, we're back.
Oh, we're back.
There it is.
We're back?
We're back.
Yeah, we're back.
Okay. I felt like bolted in my head, right through my brain.
The Thunder.
Not that my brain is that great anyways, but I feel like the Thunderdome just brought some lightning and fried that thing a little bit.
Yeah, it did.
That thing went from one side of my brain right to the other. I couldn't hear a thing. I didn't know if it was my brain stopped working, like we don't hear anymore, or if we went completely soundless. I think that happened, right?
Yes.
Yeah, it did.
But we are back.
We are back.
Thank God.
Pittsburgh Steelers fucking stink on offense.
Yeah, they do.
It was supposed to be different this year, Pat. This year was supposed to be different. Matt Canada, we finally could see Matt Canada's full offense. No more Ben doesn't want to run this, Ben won't run that. Now the only thing that's different is one Chase Claypool end around a game.
That's what Pittsburgh's saying.
Yeah,
That's right.
it's true.
That's what Pittsburgh is saying. Now, I don't know if Nick wanted to turn on his microphone and turned off the sound to everybody else's thing there. But Nick is behind a SpaceX board right now.
He is.
As are all the boys back there, and I can't believe we got through the first hour. I appreciate you.
Yeah,
I think
go.
we need to take 5. I think we need to take 5.
Five!
And I think, like, this is probably going to become something here.
Has to.
All right, we're taking 5. AJ Hawk will be on the other side. If I make this, we'll give 1,000 to somebody that retweets this thing.
Oh, hell yeah.
If not, sorry about it.
Sorry. You did it.
Oh! First one! Come on.
What an omen.
$1,000 to somebody that retweets that.
Wow.
AJ Hawk's on. Hasselbeck will be on. It's the first day at the FanDuel Thunderdome. Cheers to you all. We'll see you in 5. Take 5.
5.
Big brain football.
Man, I love this.
What is it about this spectacular game that we all love? The passing, the running, the hitting, the kicking, the scheming, the drama, the athleticism?
Let's go. Right here, big drop.
I think it's a combination of all of those things, but I believe it all boils down to this. The competition level is fucking awesome.
For the win with 2 seconds left.
A finger can literally be the difference between a W and an L.
What a turn of events!
It's what makes football wildly fun to watch and in turn, wildly fun to bet on, but I digress. The reason I'm doing this segment every week is to hopefully grow the respect for the game and to give love to the players who make all of this shit happen. about just their skill and their amazing playmaking ability?
What I really like is the finish, man. Not a lot of guys will be able to make that 6 points.
This will be all about respecting these guys' big fucking brains.
Strong like bull. Woo! Smart like tractor.
I'm going to be smart in this game, man.
Coaches usually get all of the credit in this beautiful minds of football space, but I want to shine a light on the players' brains.
Let's go do this thing, baby. Let's go.
Stuff like Mahomes and Kelsey cooking up a last-second drive in one of the best playoff games of all time.
They're playing like that seam is open.
That ball go down immediately.
Bills rush 4. Mahomes throws. Kelsey open inside the 40. Breaks the tackle and down.
And stuff like this, all from week 1. How about scary Terry McLaurin recognizing a corner is playing lazy cover 2 technique all game, telling everyone and their mother about it.
Gotta let us run by that dude, bro. This cover 2, bro. They playing it so lazy. They're playing lazy over there all day.
Then, in the 4th quarter, when it matters, Carson Wentz hits Terry behind that lazy cover 2 corner.
Taking a shot down the field. There's McLaurin. On it again. And in.
That's big brain football.
Come on, man. Hey, I've been lazy all day. All day.
How about Sunday night in Dallas? Tom Brady asking Mike Evans, "What you want, babe?" And Evans calling his shot. "Give me the fade."
Yo, Tom said, "What you want?" Tom said, "What you want, babe?" I said, "Fade."
He knows the man across from him and knows how to beat him.
I know how to get him. He trying to do that little stab. Yeah. My slow blade. Back out. I slapped him so hard right now at the line. Watch me see him. I slapped it.
That's some beautiful, big brain football.
Hard to beat in the air, Mike Evans.
Which brings us to our main feature this week, Josh Allen. He doesn't just have a big arm. He doesn't just have big cojones. He has a big old brain, too.
Hell yeah, hell yeah, hell yeah, hell yeah.
Up 14 against the world champs, 3rd and 4. He's across the line from a man who called him trash just 4 years ago. Allen knows that particular man peeks and cheats, himself a big brain player trying to gain an advantage. Often with eyes more on the quarterback and less on the receivers.
He's thinking you ain't going to throw a ball deep. So five is literally looking and not even worried about you on the trips.
Allen knows Jalen Ramsey loves sitting on routes, especially on 3rd and 4. The money down. So he tells his guy, Mr. Minneapolis Miracle himself, Stephon Diggs, "Hey, dude, don't run the called route. Just go deep."
Can you take us through the touchdown, just what you saw in that play?
Josh showed me just run.
Allen's hunch that 5 would peak and Diggs could get behind him paid off like a same-game parlay.
Their corners were really looking at the quarterback, and Diggs just ran a heck of a route.
Zone cover, Jalen Ramsey was trying to read the eyes of Josh Allen and let Diggs go past him, and Josh Allen soars it over Ramsey's head.
The look on Josh's face when he runs up on Ramsey is quite a "what was that, pal?" moment. I'm sure he's saying something like, "I knew you would do the exact thing you just did, so I told my guy to adjust, and we beat your ass." That's not trash, Jalen. That's not a garbage pick. No, that's big brain football.
Took him off and he gonna score. It was simple. I knew it. It was simple. I said, "All right, go."
I hang my hat on as a player that he got that dog.
The amount of times this stuff happens in an NFL game is straight up wild. I was lucky enough to see it firsthand from the Sheriff and so many other genius teammates. Every week this season, you'll get this feature right here on this show from us and our friends at NFL Films, giving love to the players for their commitment to the game, for their smarts, for their big brain football.
Wasn't no butch. I just got a big brain, bro. I got a big brain. Smart guys who do.
Everybody assumed that the Packers were going to try to get some weapons, and nobody has heard from you since Davante Adams got moved to the Las Vegas Raiders. When that move happens, obviously we know the connection and the relationship that you and Davante have. You've talked about it on this show ad nauseum and how much respect you have for him. Did that surprise you? Obviously you're not going to be able to replace the Davante Adams, but how has that conversation evolved with the Packers from you, and what do you think are going to be the steps going forward?
Well, we've had a lot of success with the 2nd and 3rd round receivers in Green Bay. You look at Greg Jennings and Jordy Nelson, Randall Cobb, James Jones in the 3rd round, obviously Davante Adams in the 2nd round. Those guys turned out pretty good. So I'm not sure. I think we're about to pick here in a second, but you know, it was a little surprising with Devontae. Obviously, when I made my decision, I was still thinking he was going to come back. You know, I was very honest with him about my plans and my future and where I saw, you know, my career going as far as how many years I wanted to play. But I felt like, you know, he was going to be back. Didn't obviously turn out that way, but I have so much love for Tay and appreciate the time we spent together, and definitely wish him the best with Derek in Vegas. But that's a big hole to fill for sure.
Yeah, Devontae's an absolute stud. And thank you for talking about that, by the way. I think people are going to be intrigued to hear that. Whenever you said that it did surprise you a little bit, I saw Mad Mel Kiper shake his head. But it doesn't sound like you are that pissed off about it either. You understand business is business, and you have faith and trust in Goody and LaFleur and everybody over at Green Bay, much more now than maybe in the past?
Well, it is the business. You know, it's a tough business. It's a wonderful profession. And those of us who've been blessed to play for so long realize that completely. And there's a lot of things that happen that surprise you, even still. And I thought that based on the number that we offered Devontae and, you know, being able to play with me for a few more years would definitely make a difference. But in the end, I think he was ready to move on and wanted my help in making that happen. And it was a tough position to be in for sure, because I love him and I care about him and want him to be happy. And he's definitely going to be missed.
For us, for the things we could talk about.
Speaking his mind.
I've never had a problem expressing my opinions or my thoughts or anything like that.
While being relatable.
I haven't had that manufactured fake-ass celebrity that a lot of people have whenever they go on those big networks. I've had a chance to really build my crew, build my following, build my audience.
And ridiculous.
What am I supposed to do? So I'm supposed to look at something that I can definitely afford and say, nah. Is that what I'm supposed to do?
The Pat McAfee Show starts in 3, 2, 1.
Hello, beautiful people. It is Overreaction Monday, September 19th, 2022. This show begins now. Football is here. The second full NFL Sunday slate has been completed with miraculous comebacks, momentous occasions, stars being born, and teams falling into an abysmal pit of maybe 11.3% making the playoffs already.
No.
We're going into week 3, and some teams' fan bases are staring down another, oh, shit, we suck again season. The Toxic Tables here at Ty Schmidt, at Boston Connor. Both your teams bounce back in week 2. At Ty Schmidt, we'll start with you. Packers looked good. No need to overreact last week. They got it all figured out.
Yeah, absolutely. It's tough to overreact, too, because you're watching that game last night. I think it's pretty apparent that, boy, do the Bears stink. They're just
Is that an overreaction?
I don't think so. But that's why it's like, as a Packers fan, looking at that game, like, you really can't get too high or too low because, you know, you beat the fucking Bears at home. But I did like how much they used Aaron Jones. He looked very good. The receivers they played better than they did last week. So, you know, I mean, hard to get too excited, but obviously that's a game you can't lose. They beat the hell out of them. They did it convincingly. Like, that's really all you were looking for.
And the Patriots get back on the winning side, and I believe Robert Kraft celebrated his 500th game as an owner.
Wow. Thank you, Bob.
In Pittsburgh with a big win at Acrisure Stadium. Taking the soul out of Pittsburgh had to feel pretty good.
Yeah, it felt amazing, especially when you watch the highlights and you're seeing Cole Strange stand up Cam Hayward. I mean, yeah, we got a guy, probably a Hall of Famer at guard. And, you know, the offense is still trying to figure it out. And obviously they don't have TJ Watt. But that doesn't matter because we're 1-1 and we won a game and we're probably going back to the Super Bowl.
Well, we shall see with that. Let's not get too excited. Let's talk to a Super Bowl champion, a college football national champion, a man who has won the Ryder Cup and also beat COVID multiple times.
Holy shit.
Ladies and gentlemen, the face of Ohio, A.J. Hawk.
Yeah, baby, AJ!
AJ, what up, baby?
Look at you guys. Way to drain the shot on day one, too, man. I saw that. I was already connected.
Thank you so much. Did not know you were going to be here. Would have felt a little extra pressure if I knew you were watching. That was good. I guess we got some audio things to figure out that we can't hear on our ears, but going out, it's a little scratchy. I've got numerous texts from people. The Thunderdome is, not completed project yet, but good enough to go live from.
Looks pretty sweet.
Yeah.
I saw that the camera angle where you were back, where they showed you shooting that shot, or when they backed off and you saw like the upstairs, like what the hell is up there behind the window? What is all that?
Yeah, so there's a golf simulator up here, full one, that we got like 3 cameras on, so we'll probably be streaming us playing 9 holes pretty much daily, if I had to guess. That might be on Twitch. I don't know. I think that's what
top left.
I think that's
is there a window up there, top left?
That's like a green room up there / apartment for anybody that comes into town that can live up in there, because not a lot of hotels in this part of town. Now, we did get out of downtown Indianapolis, thank God.
Thank God.
Thank God we got out of there. Not that anything's wrong with the city, but it's nice to not have to worry about leaving the office and,
shit show.
Yeah.
I mean,
Well,
Quills
we don't
is
have
awesome.
Quills, though.
That's-
Quills isn't
Thank
next door.
God.
That's our issue. Is there is no Quills around here. We're we are secluded up in a neighborhood, which is really nice. But we're gonna be able to have live audiences in here, AJ. We're gonna be able to go run full court basically in this thing. The sports book area over here, AJ. We can't wait to have you. It is really coming together. We got other studios. We might have moved in here probably 2-3 weeks early. Still gonna have to get a lot of things fixed and decorated, but it's great to be here. We can't wait for you to join us, AJ.
Hey, I can't wait. I'll be there Friday, hopefully.
I won't be here when you're here, which is a shame. We got to figure that out at some point too.
If
You know what I mean, AJ?
We will.
I miss
Well, you got kind of a busy schedule, but yeah, we'll get in there together.
Boone was awesome. How about them winning that game on a Hail Mary too?
Bro, how did that happen? That's like a storybook ending for the whole weekend, really.
Well, that's because the football gods saw the way they were camping out 12 hours before game day started. They know that everybody on that mountain wanted to see a big time win, and then they get a Hail Mary batted back, absolute. They shouldn't have won that game.
No, not a chance.
Troy did there's me and old Luke Combs, AJ.
Oh, they do?
Okay.
Me and long neck eyes, cold beer. They knew all the words to that one. The crowd, they continued to sing as I was doing I couldn't hear them because my ear things are obviously in. But watching it back, I'm like, okay, they went with me. I didn't know if they stopped there. And then Luke cuts that promo about App State by 1 million. What a fucking electrifying place and scene that was, AJ Hawk.
What a great choice having him as the guest picker too. You're right. He has that little promo, and I don't know if he prepared anything or he had a few ideas in his head, but he nailed it.
Well, he
sure.
knows college football. I think anybody that knows that show does much better than the people that don't know the show. So, Jack Harlow even said on the show, I'm a college basketball fan, not even really a college football fan. So I'm sure he's seen game day, but he has no idea about game day. Then you get Hangman in there. Hangman was like, this is an honor to be on. Hey, this is an honor to be on this show. Drinking a beer before he comes on, he brings the mullet, like he got the show. You know what I mean? Like he understood what game day was, the importance game day has. And then Luke Combs, noted college football fan, noted game day fan. He knew exactly what we were looking for, and he goes in there and kills it. And by we, I'm talking about fans, not people on there. And as I'm sitting next to him, I'm like, oh, this guy's prepared, ready to go. That's why he's a showman. That's why he's Entertainer of the Year.
Yeah, it showed, too. Like a lot of times, like you mentioned with Jack Harlow, or even if people are kind of casual fans, they get up there and it's just like, all right, not very good at all. But he looked incredible. He sounded incredible. He sounded knowledgeable. And you could tell he was actually having fun. Like, it really was an honor. He didn't feel, above being there, which was awesome.
AJ just found out that he can be put on screen at any time. Normally
Sweet.
When the boys get to talk, he gets a chance to go ahead and burn it down over there or chug any of his testosterone or whatever.
That's right.
Piss in a bottle.
Yeah, whatever he does every single day. Now it's going to be all exposed for us to see, AJ. Sorry about it.
Yeah, that's all right. Good. Look at this professional studio you guys have. What a setup.
Well, we got to decorate it a little bit more. That is something that's missing. We got Cuzzo the Buffalo in the top corner. He has made it from the original office, which is really good news. But this whole area is wide open. There's like it's really a blank canvas.
It is.
This entire place that we're going to have to decorate. It is. We're going to have a robot camera here.
Yeah. That you're going to control?
Yeah.
You mean he's going to be like an actual robot, like in Rocky V, where you can run him around?
No, I don't think it's a smart fucking thing. I think it's a very dumb robot.
Yeah.
I think we program it.
It's on a track, right?
It's going to be on a track, yeah.
Thank
Like
God.
Steven Spielberg.
Right down here.
Coming in here and laying it
Coming
down.
all the way around. So whenever Matt Hasselbeck will join us later, we'll break down the Let's Run It Hassel
back
thing, there'll be like a dolly robot thing that'll shoot from us and then spin right to Hasselbeck on there. Yeah, we're going to, might as well. You know what I mean? Might as well make it a place that is hilarious and epic to go to. Let's talk about hilarious and epic. Let's talk about some of those games yesterday. We covered, obviously, the big comebacks, but we haven't heard A.J. Hawk's thoughts. Brownie the Elf completely defeated in Cleveland as painted on the field. For the first time in 2,332 games, A.J. Hawk, a team that was down 13 points or more with 2 minutes left in the game, came back and win, and that's Joe Flacco. And the Browns had numerous opportunities to win it, A.J. Bad football, low football IQ over there. Is it Brownie the Elf's fault, or what do you think is going on in Cleveland, A.J. Hawk?
Well, yeah, obviously they had the chance. They could have found a way to stay in bounds, run that thing out. But also, what's with all the free runners? Like, have they had any kind of explanation on why you have free runners in the most important part of a game?
I mean, not only do the Brownies have to answer that question, I would assume that the Ravens are answering that question as well with Tyreek Hill getting behind the defense numerous times. I guess the first touchdown to Tyreek is actually called a fuck it play. I believe it's actually called a fuck it play. McDaniel said if we're in trouble or spirits are low or morale is down, we have one play that we call the fuck it play where it's just everybody loves it. We're basically just Tyreek's going to be on the backside. He's going to go deep, and we're just fuck it. We're just throwing it up to him. Ends up a touchdown, ignites an entire comeback. Biggest we thought would be the biggest of the day. Turns out it's not with what the Jets were able to accomplish later. That's a fuck it play. Tyreek Hill's going to sprint by Marcus Peters. Tua's going to throw it as far as he can. They're going to get a touchdown, and they're going to start climbing back into this thing. I love this Dolphins team. Now, Ravens fans are going to say that this defense let us all down. Lamar Jackson has a perfect day. First quarterback in the history of the NFL to rush for a 75-yard touchdown and throw for a 75-yard touchdown. Becomes the 11th 100-yard rushing game for Lamar Jackson, passing Michael Vick for most amount of 100-yard rushing games by a quarterback. Had a perfect passer rating, fucking did his thing. But Tua and that Dolphins team, if they're going to get this type of luck and they're going to have this type of stuff happen for them, just like the Jets, look out. Maybe this is the year that McDaniel turns the Finns community around, AJ.
Yeah, I guess. I mean, it was an awesome game. I definitely didn't think that they were. You watched that at the end of the first half, you're like, all right, here we go. Like, this, are we going to start subbing dudes in? Like, you almost felt that. And then, of course, what the Dolphins are able to do was unbelievable. I feel like every game, especially late in the afternoon, here we go. Let's just crazy, weird endings, teams coming back. The Falcons almost find a way to get a win. Like, what a day.
Yeah, and that's LaFleur actually referenced that in his interview on Sunday Night Football. He said, you saw what happened today. There was a lot of first-half teams and then second-half teams. We got to go and put them away. The Packers did just that. What did you see from the Packers last night that made you go, you know what? This fucking team's back. You know what I seen? Hey, Aaron can still spin that thing, pal.
Oh, yeah.
I don't think he got a lot of opportunities in week one, because they're still figuring a lot of shit out and all that. Lazard being back, I think, helped the mental fortitude a little bit. Jenkins playing, obviously, good news. That ball to Lazard that was actually incomplete, that he put up, that was rising from like 25, 30 yards. This dude's on ayahuasca 4 weeks ago. Now he's just slinging that thing around. Still got the spin, still got the touch. Feels like they got the swag back, too. What did you see from your Packers last night that made you go, okay, let's go on a goddamn run?
Well, I mean, I think early in the game, Chicago's offense looked great. You felt kind of worried. All right, they jump out, they get on the board early. Justin Fields is moving the ball. You're like, oh, come on, man, let's get this defense going. And then defense settles in, which that definitely tends to happen where sometimes teams can go on a drive and the defense just needs to wake up or somehow settle down. One guy is out of position here or there. And then look what they do. Like, they get after the quarterback, Preston Smith, great game. I think he was a game wrecker the whole time. And they pounded the ball, too. Aaron Jones is awesome. When you can throw the ball out of the backfield of those guys, and you have A.J. Dillon as like a change-up bruiser, like, come on, how do you stop it?
Aaron Jones' touchdown was in our Super Boost, and we knew that was going to happen when LaFleur came out and said, yeah, I'm disappointed with how much we got the ball to Aaron Jones. Aaron Rodgers said, yeah, can't have that happen where we're paying this guy, and he's Aaron Jones, we only give him 8 touches. We knew we were going to see a lot of Aaron Jones. 200 yards rushing by that tandem there. 132 from Aaron Jones, another, 68 or whatever from A.J. Dillon. If you can get the run game going like that, and we kind of knew it was coming, I guess Chicago didn't, they're going to be untouchable this year, don't you think, Ty?
I mean, you would think so, and I think A.J. would be able to speak to this a lot more in terms of the defense. There was that play late where the Packers ended up having a goal line stand. Quay Walker, the rookie they drafted from Georgia, being able to close on Justin Fields.
Speed.
I can't ever remember them having a linebacker who actually had sideline-to-sideline speed like that. Like, it's kind of been what they've missed for a really, really long time. So, yeah, like, the offense is much different. I don't think there's going to be those massive chunk plays. Like, they had the big play-action bomb to Sammy Watkins. But outside of that, I think it's going to be a lot more of just grinding people out with the offense, with the running game. They'll be opportunistic with Rodgers taking some shots, but if their defense can play like that, I think they will be okay.
Super boost, never a doubt.
No, never a doubt. I mean, I did take Aaron Jones' first half touchdown, 2 touchdowns, 3 touchdowns, and unfortunately, you
got a little greedy there.
I got a little greedy, and that's going to happen, especially when you have a boost. That's free money.
How about that?
There's never a doubt, not for 1 minute during that game, where it's like, I don't know if the Packers are going to win. I don't know if Aaron Jones is going to score, because of the fact of what LaFleur said, like you said, and Elton Jenkins coming back, like the O-line being who it is. And, Ty mentioned it in the first hour. We do know the Bears fucking stink. So
I don't know.
It's a combination of all three.
It looks like they're going to figure it out. Is Justin Fields a guy, too, that'll continue to be the question until we find out the answer? Him in a brand-new system, brand-new offense, second year after what we saw last year. I mean, it's a big question mark. But the Packers, now they're 10-0, LaFleur and Aaron Rodgers together, off of a loss, coming off a loss.
And all those games, they're winning by at least 2 touchdowns. It really was a layup. When I saw that super boost, I was like,
plus 250.
Yeah,
ridiculous.
Unbelievable.
That was a massive
really
boost.
was free money. I feel like that.
We appreciate that,
Yeah,
FanDuel.
thank you very much.
Well, that's because of how well FanDuel's been doing. It's been hard to predict. AJ, I hit a fucking big one last night, pal. I hit a big one.
Was that yours that you I saw you post a few. Are those ones that you hit personally?
Into the group text, you're saying?
I don't know. I don't know if you posted them or put them in the group text.
Into the group text,
on,
send them into the group text for Foxy to maybe bring up. Yeah, I hit for $14,000 last night.
No big deal.
Man. I hit a plus 1346. That just felt good. Green Bay Packers money line, that was even better than the boost that we felt very confident about. Aaron Jones anytime touchdown score, it was in the super boost. Felt very confident about that. Justin Fields anytime touchdown score, thought he was going to run because Justin Fields and Aaron Rodgers chit-chatted about how big the rivalry is between the Bears and the Packers. Like, keep this. So I thought Justin Fields was going to try to put the team on his back, going in at the very beginning, scoring touchdown. Thank God. Aaron Rodgers over 200 yards, that felt like a little bit of a lock. And A.J. Dillon over 25 yards felt like a lock. So I was plus 1346. I put 1,000 on it because how good I felt out of it. $14,000 in return. I felt good last night.
Damn, hell yeah.
All of a sudden, we're looking a lot better in the whole gambling on the season thing because yesterday, my overall betting was not fantastic. Yours was, though, A.J. I don't know if you know this.
What'd we do?
You went 10-4 yesterday or something.
Wow. A couple of those late comebacks sure helped me out, that's for sure.
Oh, yeah, you never know what the hell to expect.
Not the Browns, though. The Browns screwed me.
I won 7-7. You won 10-4. We got 2 games tonight. I can't catch you, obviously.
Well, you could with the overs
couple
and
overs.
the unders.
Oh, you're saying I can get real fancy?
Oh,
Go
yeah,
4-0. AJ could, probably wuss out and just take 2 games.
We'll dive into the picks later this evening, or later this show. And, AJ, it looks like you're hot. We got to remember this. Remember last year and the year before that, when AJ gets into a hot this is going to continue for a few weeks. AJ, don't listen to this because we don't want to jinx this whole thing, but it feels like we could probably understand that he's about to go on a heater right now.
Yeah, 100%. I think so. I mean, 10-4 shit yesterday. You mentioned it. Last night, Packers kind of saved me, but boy, was I getting my teeth kicked in up until that game. I really was.
We are FanDuel's continuing to rake in. I think that's why they gave us that to plus 250 last night. Let's bounce around the league a little bit more. Kyler and the Cardinals. What a magical comeback for that team against the Raiders who just weren't able to put them away. I think if you chat to any offensive lineman, which we will, and I talked to A.Q. Shipley, Arizona Cardinals were trying to get rid of Chandler Jones because they know Chandler Jones is a game record. Chandler Jones was on their team last year, which allowed Max Crosby to eat a lot. And in the beginning of that game, Kyler Murray was forcing things, throwing some picks. Then a 2-point conversion, AJ, and some throwaway time in the second half really changed it all. Fourth quarter, 8:13 left. The Raiders are up 10, and the longest 2-point conversion of all time takes place where Kyler Murray runs 85 yards. It takes 20-some seconds, and they end up getting a 2-point conversion to make this within 8. It felt like this was maybe a momentum changer on the sideline. They should not have been in this game. They should not have been able to win this game. It's an AFC West rivalry, so it's going to be no, I'm sorry. It is not an AFC West rivalry. NFC West is the Cardinals. AFC West is the Raiders. Nonetheless, 2 great teams, and the Cardinals knew they shouldn't have been in it. When this play happens, I think it changes all Big Mo to the Red Bird gang, AJ Hawk.
Oh, yeah. And then, I mean, what almost people forget about, too, is how this game ended. Simmons coming in, causing the fumble on Hunter Renfrow, scoop, score, game over, like walk-off cause fumble, return for a touchdown. Like, they had everything. Like, the Cardinals figured everything out. Obviously, the first half was not that pretty, but, man, they sure figured this thing out.
I don't know if
What a kid.
Renfro is a big, like, ball security, job security guy. I don't think we remember that Renfro fumbles a lot, but what a hit.
Yeah.
What a play.
Yeah, what are you supposed to do there?
Yeah,
Look at this. Head on the ball. Bam. See ya.
That's clinic, right? That's teach tape, right?
Yes. Like, how are you going to hold on to that ball when he puts his helmet directly on the football?
What is he, 250 or 245?
Great job here, just stabbing to pick it up, too, and not, like, taking a knee and being down.
You're saying being an athlete.
Right here, yeah. He picks it up with his right hand, stabs it, and says, see ya, I'm going to score.
Boom.
Yeah.
Yep. Oh, imagine being that
So
athletic.
quick.
That'd be so much fun.
I know. Yeah,
just being able to scoop it live in overtime on the sideline. Guy in the suit, I don't know who he is, former player, now doing something for the Cardinals. He was striding alongside of him, and the Cardinals steal one against the Raiders, honestly.
Yeah, to your point, too, about Renfro, I think just because of kind of who he is, and same deal, like the lunch pail, hard hat, all that kind of stuff, great route runner. Yeah, white guy. You don't think of him fumbling, but before that play where he fumbled and they took it to the house, it wasn't a fumble, but same deal. He caught, like a little pass out in the flat, and it ended up not being a fumble, but like it seems like they almost keyed, like either Simmons or someone knew, like, hey, we just had one, like we can get one here if you really go after it, and they did, and they ended up winning the game.
The heroics.
Run to the ball.
What's that, pal?
Great things happen when you run to the ball. Like, that's how it works, man. You got guys coming inside out. You have the guys on the outside forcing them outside in. Boom. That's what happens. You win games.
I felt like the Colts were running that ball.
Well, yeah, the ball.
Yeah,
was
what
just
happened
in the
there?
end zone.
I talked about it.
They got shut out. That doesn't happen a whole lot.
They fucking
against the
stink.
Jaguars.
Worst team in the league, probably.
Bro, there's a chance. There's an argument to be made.
They look bad. They didn't have Michael Pittman Jr. Okay, that's number one weapon. Now, with that being said, feels like skill position might be a problem. Like a couple doofuses have been saying into the microphone for a long time. And I understand there was a lot of faith in the young guys for the Indianapolis Colts at wide receiver. They have not been able to get open. Okay, they're big. They have not been able to get open. We saw the size. We saw how big everybody is. Might be able to keep up with them. Those guys are going to have to create some separation. Offensive line just invested in a little bit. The whole squad, they seem to not be able to block anybody. Matt Ryan, is supposed to be a veteran leader. Supposed to come in. We got a Navy SEAL. We got an astronaut. He seems to get kind of out of it whenever things are going bad. I don't really see, the fire there. Jonathan Taylor's still a guy. Only had 5 touches going in the fourth quarter. Defense is out to Forrest Buckner and Shaq Leonard. That's a big deal.
Huge.
That's a big deal.
Huge deal.
So I don't think it's code red yet, but golly, it is getting ugly. That was fucking disgusting. I don't know what Jim Irsay was saying to Frank Reich and Chris Ballard, but I assume the brothers were in abundance, and I assume there was a, hey, do you know what your salary is? Yes. Do you know what your salary is? Yes. I just extended you guys. Do you know how many fucking guitars I could have bought instead? Those guitars at least give me some happiness. You guys give me none in Jacksonville. They got to get it figured out quick, dude. The stats are alarming for how teams' records are going into the third week on whether or not they're going to be a team or they're not going to be a team. 2-0, like 63%. 1-1, 42%. 0-2, you have an 11.3% chance to make the playoffs. And we will dive into the Bengals being quite a letdown in a moment for sure, as that is probably close to your heart over there in Ohio. But the Colts are 0-1-1. So let's assume it's a little bit higher than 11%.
Yeah.
But those odds look very low in Indy if you hear anybody talk about Frank Reich coaching a goddamn team. I mean, it is all systems firing.
Who do they play next?
On Frank
Who's Indy have next?
Does it matter?
Let's hope it's like 4 or 5 straight buys,
does.
so we can figure out.
The Lions?
Bro, we had the Jags. We just had the Jags.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? We had Texans and then we had Jags.
But when you have to get back on track and then you see a juggernaut coming into town, or you have to go there, like, okay.
Oh, yeah, it's
all
Chiefs
right.
at
We don't
home.
want to be
That's
around.
right. Chiefs at home.
Perfect.
Oh, no. See, that's what I was worried about.
What do you mean? That's a great game.
Pretty
Get
good.
back
They're a
game.
pretty good team.
Beat the Chiefs, you're going to the Super Bowl.
We're going to be there.
Yeah, but that
It's
also
a franchise
could
win.
That could be like a bury the ball type game too, where they get beat like 75-0. Hey, we bury the ball, we move on. Season starts now.
Turn it around.
Yeah, they're going to run out of plots of land for balls over there. Though.
Well.
This shit's getting ugly quick. And they didn't have a lot of their players, so let's not panic, okay?
Well,
let's not
can't
panic
this early. Not in September. You can't panic.
Everybody wants Frank Reich fired yesterday.
Yeah, they just got blanked by the Jags. I mean, Matt Ryan, too, that first drive, sure they don't have their weapons, and that's valid. But the first pass, they throw it to Nyheim Hines. It's like, oh, okay, they're going to use Hines not just out of the backfield. Like, this is going to go well. And then Matt Ryan just chucks the ball like Carl Wentz and throws a pick on second or third down for no reason. And they don't really have
I
a
think
kicker.
Matt Ryan threw 3 interceptions yesterday.
Oh, yeah.
He was sacked 7 times, I believe.
He
Gotta
had
give some
one-
credit to the Jags D.
Well,
Absolutely. The Jags are a team this year, too. People forget.
But
People
al-
forget. Jags are they could go on and win the Super Bowl.
Also,
Doug
like,
Peterson's got that new hair.
he looks great. I mean, going into the year, obviously any team can win any week, but those are 2 division games that I assume you're circling. It's like, hey, we're 2-0 going into a tough matchup against the Chiefs.
Is that why the guys didn't play? I wonder why, DeForest Buckner and Shaquille Leonard.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
They don't play. That's huge.
Massive.
That's massive. Remember, DeForest Buckner didn't play against the Titans a couple years ago, and it was why we didn't make the playoffs.
Yep.
And it was because Derrick Henry was able to just go for 200 yards right up the gut because DeForest Buckner wasn't in. Now, Grover Stewart's still playing. He's a guy. But you lose Shaq, defensive MVP candidate, your number one weapon on offense, and Michael Pittman, and DeForest Buckner. I think we need to not panic yet. But that did not look like a team that had a plan on winning the game yesterday with no players. I mean, that did not seem like that at all. 24-zip is demoralizing, let alone when it's in the division, let alone when it's against a team that is worried about who's in the pools at the stadium as opposed to who's winning their fan base mostly.
Well, and they hang their hat on their offensive line and them giving
Stink.
up 7 sacks. Like, it's not just like the defense because they're missing those players. Healthy offensive line, everyone's there. How the hell are you giving up 7 sacks?
I have no idea. Let's pivot away from another team that needs to figure it out on the offensive line. Joey Burrow. Hey, this Joey Burrow situation is going to be a case study going forward. Lael Collins, who they bring in to protect him as right tackle, last week has to take on TJ Watt. Doesn't have a great day. This week it's against Micah Parsons. Doesn't have a great day. Lael's getting baptized by pass rushers in his new stint with the Cincinnati Bengals, so hopefully he'll be able to pick it up a little bit. But if Joey Burrow continues to get killed the way he's getting killed, this Bengals team is going to be a situation that we're going to have to monitor from Super Bowl to why can't we figure out the glaring issue even though we spend money? That's going to be a question people are going to ask for a long time with this Bengals team, A.J. Hawk, until they get it fixed.
Yeah, it is. But, I mean, I guess what they could kind of point to is that we played T.J. Watt, defensive MVP last year, and then Micah Parsons, who could have been he was Rookie of the Year last year and could be the MVP this year. He's on pace for 325 sacks, I think, what I heard Romo say earlier on the broadcast. So, I mean, these are 2, very unique game-changing rushers you're going against at the same time, too, if you want to say, okay, we're not all bad. We can still figure this thing out.
Plenty of excuses to go around, but nonetheless, they're 0-2 right now, 11.3% chance to make the playoffs. I wonder what the percent chance of making the playoffs after going 4-12 or 4-15 is like the first year they were. True. I'm sure they're not worried about any of the percentages, but this Joey Burrow thing, Evan McPherson's a guy. Mm-hmm. Okay, they got a kicker. Now, last week he missed a game winner from 29 yards or whatever with a backup tight end long snapping and entire situation being fucked. He bounces back, makes a bunch of kicks for him, including a couple long ones, and then they still lose because Meyer comes from 50 yards in there. The Cowboys with Cooper Kush, they might be a team as well. I saw Richard Sherman got upset about something that I found to be pretty alarming as well. Mike McCarthy chatted about Cooper Rush, and he said it's not that big of a drop-off from Dak Prescott. It's like, what? Then what you pay Dak Prescott like $200 million for? I mean, and then Cooper Kush goes out there. He was slinging it. I mean, he looked like an actual quarterback, looked like a great guy, seemed to be in control. The Cowboys get a win. Bengals get a loss. Should we panic about the Bengals? It sounds like you're thinking no. And for the Cowboys, should we be excited? Because Dak was holding the football yesterday. Mm-hmm. They said he could be back within 4 weeks. He heals quick. Yesterday, he was holding the ball. Do they need him to rush back with Cooper Kush?
We'll see. I mean, I guess we'll see. But could it be possible that Big Mike is just trying to pump up old Cooper Kush and not take anything away from Dak? He just said, hey, man, this guy's going to be our guy for the next 3, 4, 5 games. Who knows how long? I need to make sure he feels like the whole squad is behind him and everyone is behind him no matter what.
I wonder if Mike McCarthy went up to Dak. I was like, hey, listen. I'm about to say some things about Cooper Kush here that people are going to pair. We need him to play. You get it. We need him to play.
You get it.
We need him to play.
You get it.
Yeah, you get it. We need him to play. Tony Pollard had a great game for them. Yeah. He continues to be great. Zeke also played very well. Yep. Now, I think everybody talks about how much money Zeke's getting paid versus how much Tony Pollard's getting paid and how well Tony Pollard does as well. Zeke's still a dude. Zeke is still a guy that every team would want to have on their team. Maybe the Dallas Cowboys are able to figure it out. In the NFC East, I mean, we're going to find out a lot tonight about the Eagles when they take on the Vikings, who just absolutely stampeded the Green Bay Packers last week. Yeah. But the NFC East, maybe the Cowboys are all the way back with Cooper Kush and alcohol. Maybe. Maybe he's the guy for him.
Well, it looked like, I mean, a lot of times when something like this happens, when you have like a really prominent quarterback and he goes down and some backup comes in, like the game plan changes completely. It's like, they can't do anything. The passes they're throwing, like, it just doesn't look like the same team at all. It kind of looked like the Cowboys almost didn't miss a beat yesterday, and maybe that is partially because the Bengals just can't seem to get out of their own way, and it's like that's exactly what they need to do to win with him playing quarterback is, hey, if the defense is giving up 14 to 17 points, like we feel like he's good enough and we have enough playmakers still on the outside and in the backfield where we can steal a couple games scoring 3 touchdowns. But, I mean, I guess we'll see. The Bengals, though, that's just they're hard to figure out.
It looks bad. We'll have some overreactions from around the internet, and the Bengals fans did not disappoint.
No.
Let's go ahead and take 5. Let's hit some things real quick before we take 5. Graham Gano, a man who was lied to by Boston Connor in a live Twitter Spaces during a fantasy football draft, wins a game for the New York Giants with long balls. Saquon Barkley in the second half seemed to look like he looked like last week. Are the Giants under Daboll a new team? I think so.
Yeah, absolutely. And their defense looks awesome. Granted, it's Baker Mayfield and the Panthers and the Titans, which, who knows what they are. But when you have Graham Gano, which we all know, he's the guy. There's a chance he might go and break Vinatieri's record.
Why'd you lie to him? Why'd you say you draft him and then draft Adam Thielen instead?
Well,
Right to his face.
Yeah, it's funny you say that because we were actually talking earlier. There's a chance my fantasy team is now cursed, but I have drummed up a trade. I believe I will be asking Foxy for Graham Gano, and in return, I will give him Jamar Chase because it feels like I have to do that.
There's no chance that Foxy goes for that. I mean, for the good of the league, do not let
I'll
Connor.
take Jamar Chase.
Yeah, Connor, that's a no deal.
Well,
no
you're
chance.
a fool then. Jamar Chase for Graham Gano, whatever.
Gano just had 18 points for my team, all right? And I'm going to go 2-0 now.
He's going to do that every week.
Of the team.
He's going to do that every single week.
Exactly.
That's what Graham Gano does. That's why he's been around a long time. That's why he's still kicking, and that's why he was in that fantasy draft because he's a good dude. Yeah. And you decide to shit on him, and that will never, ever come back around for you. He hit from 36, 33, 32, and that 50-some yarder to win the damn game. 56. It was 16. Good. Wow. I mean, just a beautiful ball, fist pump. And I like that the Giants tweeted the video. And there's the bad snap. Okay, great hold. Way to get that thing around, especially for a 56-yarder. The Scottish Hammer. Jamie, I'm sorry, I forgot your name. I'm mixed up with Drew McIntyre, Seamus,
Scottish Psychopath.
and Jamie. I apologize for that, but Scottish Hammer with a great hold there, and Graham Gano being as steady as possible right in Connor's face. The Lions are a 500 football team, get a win over Commanders, and although Carson was kind of mounting a comeback in the end, the Lions answered every single time. Great run game, and Jared Goff, I think he had 4 tuds. Jared Goff, very comfortable in this entire thing. Foxy, you guys got to be very excited, man.
So fucking excited. I could not believe Jared Goff. It seemed like every time normal Lions teams, they choke that game away, but Goff was there. Carson would score. Goff would score. Carson would score. Goff would score. I've never seen anything like it. It was awesome.
And there was a safety in that game, a pick, a fumble, another one potentially. It was a Carson Wentz style game, but they were in it in the end, and the Lions were able to get a close one. That's huge for the Lions' morale. Sean McVay and Matthew Stafford and Cooper Kupp are back to doing things. Got close late. Stafford threw a couple picks. One of them I think was bad. Blocked punt for a tud is obviously a big deal. But the Rams seem to have it figured out if they can go for four quarters. Aaron Donald's still Aaron Donald, A.J. Hawk.
Yeah, I think it's good to win however you can. Like, to blow people out, yeah, it's cool. But I think it's good to win with some adversity and find a way to win those games where, okay, well, we got up early. Now this team came back. We need to find a way to put these people away. I think that's good for you, like, in the long run. You need to win every possible way.
I think so, too. Jimmy G is now playing for the Niners. He's undefeated this season as a Niner. He picked up right where he left off as their quarterback, making good decisions. Debo Samuel, still a dog. Trey Lance out for the year with a broken ankle. We hate to see that, but I think the Niners have a much easier situation on their hands than they had a week ago, even though nobody likes it. Let's take 5 because the Ravens-Dolphins game is about to be broken down by a man named Matt Hasselbeck in a fashion that we are not able to do. This is going to be fantastic. Let's run it. Hasselbeck is on the other side of this 5-minute break. Let's get better at football. Let's get better at talking about football. Let's introduce a new segment. Take 5. See you then. Bye. Reading this headline here that is written on this piece of paper by Boston Connor this morning. Lou Holtz sent Brian Kelly several letters over his Notre Dame tenure to no response. This must have slipped through the cracks in the group text. Sports Illustrated is reporting, while talking to reporters this past week, Lou Holtz shared that while Brian Kelly was at the helm, he wrote him several letters over his tenure as coach. Unfortunately, Holtz said, He never got a response. So, obviously we got to go.
Well. Looks like I wasn't fibbing when I said that Brian Kelly was a big old piece of shit. He writes this guy letters and tries to tell him, hey, this is exactly what you need to do if you want to be a successful coach at Notre Dame. Okay, he didn't fucking respond to me once. You know how long it takes me to write these goddamn handwritten letters? I'm not typing them on a Macintosh. I'm not typing them on the Dell. I'm dipping my ink in the quill, and I'm writing these handwritten letters. And what does he do? He says, hey, you know what, Lou? I won't write you a letter, but I'll send some kid into a cherry picker with 85-mile-an-hour winds, and I'll kill him. And then guess what? I still won't write you a letter back. He can apologize, but it doesn't matter because Notre Dame's in the right spot. We got Marcus Freeman with 17-point underdogs at Ohio State. And I wouldn't be surprised if Brian Kelly gets run out of LSU because before too long, the boosters down there are going to find out what I found out. And that's that he's a big old steaming bag of shit.
Coach, isn't it a chance that you with those handwritten letters that he never got them? He was just checking his email?
No, you kidding me? If I fucking write a letter, it's getting on the head coach's desk, okay? You think Charlie Weiss ever got my handwritten letters or Tyrone Willingham? Those guys always wrote back to me. Always.
Oh, shit. Probably put bacon in those letters.
Thank you, Coach.
That's your buddy Brady Quinn, okay? He knows I wrote a letter before every single Notre Dame home game. Had it in his locker.
What did you say about the game where you're taking on your future brother-in-law, A.J. Hawk?
Well, I said, good luck, Brady. Hopefully you play like a guy like Carlisle Holiday. I'm sure you remember him. He was a great quarterback at Notre Dame. Led them to a lot of success. Of course, you know, Brady, unfortunately, they had good seasons, and they got their asses beaten every single big post-game bowl.
Whoa.
And we all remember the LSU Sugar Bowl where that Marcus Russell or whatever the hell his name was, he threw it all over the football field. And then AJ and the Ohio State Buckeyes beat the shit out of Notre Dame in the Fiesta Bowl.
Did you see the documentary about Manti Te'o? Seems like a really good guy that the world
You know what?
really was rooted to.
Manti's a sweet kid, okay? And I'm sick and tired of everybody shitting on him and making him feel like he wasn't a sweet kid, because he was such a sweet kid. Everything that you want out of a student athlete at Notre Dame. He wasn't Catholic, which I don't love, but he's a sweet kid, and he really got misrepresented in that. I still feel bad for Manti.
Did you write him a letter? Oh, no, that shit came up?
Once again, I couldn't write him a letter because he's not Catholic. If he was Catholic, I would have, but he's Mormon, and I don't know about his religion as much as I do about the Catholic religion, touchdown Jesus, all that kind of stuff. But no, you know, I feel bad because Manti was such a good player. He was the highest rated linebacker recruit Notre Dame ever had, you know, and look at him now. He's just a sad oose on a beach down in Hawaii.
Did you say sad ooze? Oh my God, Coach Schultz, I did not know you had ooze in the repertoire.
Yeah, of course. How do you think I recruited? We got some bad ooses in my time at Notre Dame. Offensive, defensive line. I stole a couple of them from SC and BYU and all those places.
Jesus. Man. Oh, I'll tell you, I did not expect that today. See ya! Micah Hyde softball game this past weekend with a portion of the proceeds going to the victims of the heinous, fucking terrible, despicable actions of one scumbag at a grocery store in Buffalo. Josh Allen went to the plate with ill intentions on his mind, and look what he does to this softball, A.J. Hawk.
Look how high the ball is.
Yeah. Back to back! How you doing? Are you not entertained?
Never backs out.
6'5", 235 pounds, incredibly athletic.
the confidence and moxie to be able to do things like that and become a guy in the NFL. He's becoming the prototype day in and day out. I fucking love that dude. That softball still going. Welcome back to the Pat McAfee Show here live from the FanDuel Thunderdome. AJ Hawk to my left, your right. You look fantastic, AJ.
Wow, super cuts.
You guys look great, especially that window of light behind you.
Super art. So you should have seen this thing has gone through different stages because the lights are in the back and the panels are on top of it. And we could get into a nice 6,000 to 7,000 page book of shit that pops up that you could have never thought about, but certainly needs an answer and figured out yesterday. You know, in building this place, it's been an honor to be a part of it. The team that put this together is fantastic. A lot of incredibly hard workers and a lot of people that did their thing. We appreciate them. Just like the Talks the Table at Ty Schmidt and at Boston Connor. But now it is time to debut a brand new segment. Ladies and gentlemen, you might have watched that Ravens-Dolphins game yesterday and wondered how and why some things happened. How did that comeback take place in which Tua sat in the pocket and got the Dolphins all the way back? Is this the Dolphins' year? Is Lamar Jackson one of one? All the records seem to say so. And to break it more down, for all of us to become more intelligent, friend of mine with a brand new segment called Let's Run It, Hasselback, Matt Hasselback. Great to see you, pal.
What's up, guys? How we doing?
You sound amazing.
Sounds great. That's unreal.
So
audio check one.
Yeah,
Sounds
you sound
great.
good.
Perfect.
So we'd like to talk about the said love that he's wearing underneath both of his
Nice.
hoodie and his shirt here, created by a guy named Paulie B, who is here doing the audio.
Paulie
I think in
B.
the first hour, Paulie B was out in my good graces, out of him completely. Did a full test show yesterday, was not told that every word is going to sound like a robot is speaking. Hit a basketball shot, put the video out, just heard it for the first time. Maybe the worst quality of anything we've ever put out in history. Paulie B, though, dives into the system, figures it out, also created this lav mic that Hasselbeck's wearing while working for the show Jersey Shore.
Wow. Paulie B with Paulie D.
Was working on the audio for Snooki, Jersey Shore, all of them.
Whoa.
Yeah. So since they were shirtless, he created this lav that's a necklace that Matt Hasselbeck's currently wearing. He should have got a patent on it. Other people would steal it. But nonetheless, Hasselbeck, you sound great, look great. Will you teach us a little bit more about the football from yesterday, sir?
Yeah, some great football yesterday, some great comebacks. What a game by Lamar Jackson. Like historic, right? He had 8 incompletions, 21 to 29, over 300 yards passing, 3 touchdowns, ran for $119 on 9 carries with a touchdown. Historic. Never been done. So I'm going to show you how they started doing this, okay? And then I'm going to show you what happened at the end. As an offense, what we like to do is we like to do things that are really, really simple to us, yet complicated for the defense. So check this out here, okay? This is one of Lamar's touchdown passes. We're in a stack formation here, okay? No big deal. Why do you get in stacks? Well, because they have Xavier Howard, who's one of the best cover corners in the game. And when he's pressed, it's hard for our wide receiver to get off. So, Foxy, run it in slow motion for me here. Watch what happens pre-snap here. All of a sudden, in slow motion, we get motion by the outside receiver. The next guy's getting set. Now Xavier Howard is pressing a different receiver. Hike the ball, run it in full speed. Check out this release here. See you later. I can relate this to one thing, okay?
Ooh.
Now you're playing pickup basketball with your buddy, and you're like, all right, check, and then he just goes. Of
course.
You don't have time, right? That's kind of what happens. Show that one more time. Just see this little subtle thing. Right before, new guy, got a new man. I had 13, now I got 7. Oop, touchdown, okay? That is very well done.
Perfectly placed ball, too, right? Runner's ball?
Runner's ball,
We need
perfectly
that.
placed ball, 75-yard touchdown. Here's a little replay of it. Hey, I got you him. No, I got you. And now I got a great spray release. We're selling like we're going deep on the outside. Instead, we got a slant route, okay? So that's wonderful. Now, we know about Lamar the passer. We also know about Lamar the runner. Foxy, let it run. Here we go. 3rd and 2. You got to stop. What do you got to stop? Well, it looks like they got a jet sweep action. You can just let this one run, Foxy. Looks like we're on the I-90, but nope, we're on the 405. Okay. And that's basically what happened. So Lamar Jackson, you're talking about he's got to get paid. He might get paid. Check it out. We're going east and west. Nope, we're going north and south. Okay, that's that right there. But what does Coach P always say, Pat? Guys, you were in the team meeting this week. What is Coach P? Coach P's keys. One play at a time.
Sure.
All you got for 60 minutes. Don't judge. Don't judge what?
Don't look up at the scoreboard.
Don't judge the scoreboard. So there's a guy on the other side named Tua, okay? And he wasn't judging. Sometimes when you're down by a lot, you try to do too much. You get a little careless with the ball. You end the day with like 4 interceptions, something like that. Third down, okay?
That's a money down.
Quarterbacks make their money on third down, in the red zone, and in 2 minutes. That's where you make money, okay? What happens between the 20 and the 20 doesn't matter so much. So 3rd and 13, okay? You might feel like doing something desperate, something reckless, but don't. Trust us. Trust the process. One play at a time, don't judge. Here we go. Let's run this. This is what I call an us or nobody throw. Us or nobody. Goalpost throw. Here's Tua, 3rd and 13. The percentages are low. Look at that ball get up to Gesicki. Not a risky throw. We got 3 points in the bank if we want it, or we could try to go for it on
What's
fourth
he
down.
throwing at the crossbar there? Throwing it out the crossbar?
Yeah, us or nobody. Over 1, 2. Run it back, please, Foxy, just real quick. Look how many defenders this ball goes over here, okay? You can run it, play it. And Gesicki's tall. Well, it went a little too fast. You got to just sort of trust me. That ball went over 3 defenders. Here we go. 1, 2, 3. Back of the end zone. Now, Gesicki does the hard part, but he's expecting that ball. An us or nobody throw in the back of the end zone. Look how high he gets up right there. This is just excellent execution, and it's not an accident. Like, this is what you practice. This is what we expect. This is what we talk about in this kind of a situation.
Third quarter, down 21, 3rd and 13. They make that happen. You're thinking to yourself, while watching Tua play like this, guy's under control, right?
I'm really impressed with playing like a veteran. For a young guy, we hadn't seen it playing like a veteran. Here's one, 3rd and goal from the 2. Now, this is another excellent play. Run this one till he gets to the top of his drop here, Foxy. Okay, stop it right here, actually. Stop it right here. We got 4 strong here, okay? This is called a 4-by-1. If we were in a trip set, we'd call that 3-by-1. There's a running back on this side, though, so we're going to call it a 4-by-1. Let it run. We're going to try to get an in-cut here to Craycraft. Right there, Tua sees him. He knows that his guy Craycraft is open, but he feels this unblocked guy. Does he look at the rush? Heck no. Do not look at the rush.
Never.
Feel the rush. So let it run a little bit. He feels it. He's like, oh, I got to be careful with the ball. Nice spin move. Gets away. Now he knows the route. He knows it was a little 5-yard Marvin Harrison in cut. He knows the route, so he's like, you know what? I'm just going to keep coming. Smart play by both guys. Okay, let it run. Let it run. He's got a guy in the back of the end zone open too, but he hits Craycraft. Now, talk about the guy in the back of the end zone. Let this run just a little bit, Foxy. Check out Jalen Waddle. This is the play that, like, really, sometimes as an athlete, you try to do too much. Okay? Tua, that's very well done. Now check this out. So here he goes. Check right there. Pause it for me, Foxy. Jalen Waddle is open in the back of the end zone. Can you back that up just a tad for me, please? Jalen Waddle gets pushed out of bounds at the back of the end zone, okay? He's standing there. He stays out of bounds. Because he's ineligible. He's not allowed to be the first guy to touch the ball when he comes back in. So Tua actually, I believe, looks at him.
Look at the hat.
And Jalen, the hat's right here. So the official, the back judge, he'll throw the hat if the receiver runs out of bounds and he's now ineligible. Jalen Waddle sits back there and he's like, he looks at Tua. He's like, no, don't throw to me. You know, usually it's like, yo, I'm open. He's like, no, don't come
I'm
to me.
illegal right now. I'm illegal.
So he comes to Craycraft, touchdown. Again, down 35-14. Excellent.
So that
football.
paint out there for Waddle is actually America.
Okay.
And Waddle is Gumpy.
Gumpy, okay.
I'm illegal here.
And the hat would be the immigration office throwing their hat on the ground.
Or the lawyers that refused to.
That said his name was Kyle Gump.
Yeah, it took $30,000.
Yeah, okay.
Anyways, great play by Tua. Felt the rush.
Listen, I'm crediting Mike McDaniel for this kind of stuff. Like, Mike McDaniel, he's great in the press conference. He's got a lot of energy. He's pop culture, all that stuff. But, like, he's a really, really smart football coach. Here's another one from Tua, okay? 3rd and 10, money down.
Down 14, fourth
money
quarter.
Down 14. Don't judge. You can't get 2 touchdowns on one play, right? The Ravens are going to bring, I don't know why they're bringing pressure, okay? They decided they still wanted to bring pressure, but they're doing it, okay? They're going to bring pressure up top here, okay? These 2 guys to this 3-receiver set are going to blitz. If they do blitz, if they bring 2, we call that a dog, okay?
D-O-G or D-A-W-G?
What do you want it to be?
Well, it depends on what it is, I guess.
Yeah,
because I think the Steelers run a dog rush, which is both ends. And it's been that way since the beginning. This one feels like a dog.
Yeah, didn't get the sack, too, on a blitz. Feels like a dog.
D-O-G.
Yeah, just this is a fire zone. Okay, it's a fire zone strong dog.
So maybe it's dog.
DAWG. And this is probably invented way back in the day by the Pittsburgh Steelers, probably.
Hell yeah.
Tony Dungy taking it to Tampa. Anyway, that's another thing. Okay, ready? Here we go. These two guys, if they blitz, then these two guys on this side are going to fire zone into coverage. See, that's exactly what happens. Tua notices it. His drop is right on the hash. But now notice this very subtle Tom Brady. I'm just going to drift about 2 yards to this side where I know no one is rushing from, and he buys himself just a little bit
Hey,
of
that's
time.
smart football, right?
Very smart
You have to
football.
see the blitz. You have to understand that you got nobody coming on this side because it's a fire zone now, and you have to be able to adapt in real time. That's like super high-level football from Tua, right?
That's feeling the rush. It's film study. It's being well coached. Now, on the back end, you're saying to yourself, man, how could you let Tyreek Hill get behind you?
Yes.
Absolutely.
Well, I'll
Everybody's
tell you
saying
why.
that.
Because the DBs, they're like, no, we're bringing the strong dog. That thing's getting home in like 1,000, 2, 1,000, 3, 1,000. There should be a sack right about now. But this little subtle thing that Tua does, eyes downfield, where he goes just from the hash to about, 2 yards from the hash, and he buys himself just a little bit of time, and it's picked up because the Dolphins' protection scheme, that's just really, really well done.
Okay, so we like Tua a lot.
I mean, he played outstanding. Listen, the crazy thing is, this game was 28-7 at the half, the Ravens. 28-7.
Pat, you said this was a fucking play from McDaniel?
Yeah, that's what he said.
Does
I don't
every
know if it
team
was
have
this
a
one.
fucking play?
I don't think it was this one.
Oh, okay.
I don't
The
think
other
it was.
Tyreek
I
Hill
mean,
touchdown.
well, I'm not in the room, but I think it's actually this next one. Okay,
Ah.
down 35-28. Okay, 3rd and 6. Again, here we are in a 4-by-1. So do you want to roll your coverage to Tyreek, to the one guy?
Yeah.
Or do you want to roll your coverage to the 4-by-1? You know who does this a lot? The Kansas City Chiefs do this a lot, and that one guy is Travis Kelce. So here we're doing it with Tyreek.
You're forcing a single coverage, basically.
Well, not necessarily. You're either forcing them to take 2 guys over there, okay? Roll the coverage that way. You're forcing them to declare what they think is most dangerous. You're forcing them to declare passing strength. Do we think the passing strength is the 4 guys over here? Or do we think the passing strength, the thing that we're more worried most about, is Tyreek Hill?
Well, if we're the defense, we're saying Tyreek.
Yeah, the fastest
especially
down
on
the
this
field.
play. Yeah,
Absolutely.
Hindsight. We got hindsight.
We knew.
But it's a little bit of a gray area. Like, how would you handle that? And it might be a little confusing. Again, simple for the offense. What do we care? He's just running deep. What do we care? Confusing for the defense. And you see right here, this is basically what's happening. So go back to last year. Everyone's talking about how Lamar Jackson and the Ravens got kind of embarrassed on national TV because the Miami Dolphins were bluff blitzing or bringing cover 0, showing all that blitz. They probably are sitting around like, man, this is hard. Why don't we do this all the time? Like, we should do this. So this is what they did. They basically did what the Miami Dolphins, Brian Flores defense did last year against them, but they didn't do it very well.
Fake blitz.
They bluff blitz, exactly. Tua, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. He sees single coverage with no safety help. Now there probably should have been safety help. Or that corner.
We would have done that if we were the Ravens defense.
Did he think there was help?
Either there was this guy. Let me say this: this guy thought he had help.
That's what AJ just alluded to.
Yeah, he thought he had help. But either way, we don't care what you think you have. We see what you don't have. You don't have help. So whether he knew he had help or not, this is where we say it like, hey, the hell with it. We're going deep, right? We don't care. And that's exactly what happened here.
Okay. So this is the fucking play, you think?
I think it is. I think it's like, hey, our guy's better than your guy. We're running by you. And then as fate would have it, the Baltimore Ravens just happened to blow the coverage completely.
Yeah, there's a lot of miscommunication.
Yeah, so go back right here, Foxy. Just show this all 22 here. Look, I love that you have this all 22. Check this out. They're showing cover 0. Cover 0, which I talked about yesterday on Sunday Countdown. That just means there's 0 helpers in the back end. And that's what they're showing. And they have too many potential rushers for how many blockers we have. With no tight end attached and only one back, we only have 6 potential blockers. Look at all these guys. It looks like a punt formation, okay? So basically right here, we got to either honor that or they're going to be bluffing it and they're going to now be out of position. You can run it, Foxy. See how they're all trying to bail out of there? I really don't know what this corner's thinking.
So, AJ, you would think that 6 there, if you can run back to the beginning, 6 is supposed to get back over top of Tyreek, you think? I mean, this is a Darius Butler question, but does that corner think that 6 is supposed to show all the way back
absolutely. There? 6 does not know the coverage. He thinks that he has help over the top, and he is supposed to probably be here deeper than the deepest receiver on his side.
Run that one more time, Foxy. Because from inside the box there, 6 is on the hash. Is he supposed to just turn and run there? I mean, that's just fucking...
Well, the corner doesn't even move while Tyreek Hill's running at him. He just is standing there. Yeah. He just runs right by him.
Interesting decision, though, by the Ravens. With new defense coordinator, right, Wink Martindale, now in Giants colors. Them thinking that guy can maybe get from a disguised blitz to help over top on Tyreek Hill.
Yeah, I don't know that it's a coaching thing. I think, again, like this is like a little bit of a confusing formation, or maybe this is like you put this blitz call or this defensive call with this formation in this situation, and now we have a player who makes a mental mistake.
But if we were to run at Hasselbeck, like you said earlier, we don't care. Tua doesn't give a fuck about what their miscommunication is.
And that's what I'm saying. Like, Tua gets up there, Mike McDaniel in this offense, he's just basically saying, hey, here's the concept we're running over here, but alert right here. Anytime you want to take a one-on-one, anytime. How much money did we pay Tyreek?
A lot.
A lot
of money.
A
lot of money. So anytime you want to take that one-on-one, anytime. I don't care the situation. You take it. Okay, next play. Last play for Tua. This is a good one, okay? Game's on the line, right? 38-35. All those other plays were third down, by the way, okay? I mentioned third down, red zone. Okay, here we are in the red zone. And what are we in? We're in
2 minute drill.
2 minute. 19 seconds to go in the game. On the road. Lamar Jackson just set NFL records for passing yards, rushing yards, at home.
This is Lamar's moment.
This is Lamar's moment. But Tua, what does Tua do? Okay, in this situation, this is unique to me. A lot of quarterbacks, a lot of people talk about 2 minute. Hey, you got to go out there and just like do something desperate. Well, no, that's not always the case, okay? There's 2 minute when you need to score to win. And then there's 2 minutes when you need to score to win, but you could also tie and send it to overtime.
Because it's a 4 minute, 2 minute.
Well, because right here, we have 3 points in the bank, and we could send this to OT.
Yeah, but you don't want to leave too much time for them to come back on the other side, too, right? It's kind of a fine balance.
For sure. So it gets complicated. Well, let's run this play here and just see what he does here. Check this out here, okay? He goes through his full read. He looks right and looks left and then finds an us or nobody situation. You got to be stingy with the ball here. So the Ravens are playing a combo coverage here, and this is an us or nobody throw. You can roll to the next look, okay? Basically, they're going to double. They're going to have a double on the right, and then they're going to have a double on the left, depending on how the route tree comes out, okay, or how the route combinations come out. Check out Tua's head on the snap. Roll it here, please.
Hey, how about him doing this with 106 decibels?
Loud.
In the back? This
no
is
doubt.
insane.
So now he's looking right. He looked right. He saw that he's found the combo over there. Now he looks left. Run it 2 more steps, please. Right there. Now he sees the combo right here. This guy right here, he's got 2 on him. So we got 2 guys on that guy, 2 guys on that guy. We got 3 guys over here over these 2 guys. He finds the one-on-one.
Tough to do, right?
But he sweeps the board. He starts on the right, like those old school sprinklers that are like,
Sure.
you know, he starts on the right. He goes all the way over to the left. Now let it roll. Check out this us or nobody throw. Let our field goal kicker kick. Let us call another play if this one doesn't work. High, us or nobody, where our guy can get it or nobody else for an epic, epic win. Tua gets it done against Lamar Jackson in what I think was the best quarterback matchup of the weekend.
Wow.
Let's go.
Unreal. Thanks for running that hassle.
That was awesome.
So what we saw out of Tua wasn't just like 2 minute luck where they're playing backyard football. This was cerebral. This was showcasing football IQ and obviously the ability to put the ball on the money for an us or nobody throw. This was really impressive out of Tua yesterday, even though it was supposed to be Lamar's day in everybody's eyes.
Yeah, and I would also just say he didn't flinch, right? They're down by so much. They're down by so much at half. They're down by so much in the fourth quarter. It was one play at a time. 60 minutes, all you got. Don't judge the scoreboard. Well done.
Unbelievable.
How much of this do you think is Tua maturing and kind of just getting better after seeing more looks and being in the league longer? And how much of this is actually McDaniel and like his scheme kind of unlocking everything that Tua's good at?
I would go back even further. This guy was well-trained in college, right? He's a smart guy. He's well-trained. He trained with Trent Dilfer getting ready for the draft.
Oh, yeah.
Now he's had a bunch of different people in that quarterback room, whether it be coordinators, quarterback coaches. He spent time with Ryan Fitzpatrick. I mean, he's had a bunch of people pouring into him. The only thing he hasn't had is the experience of actually doing it. Now he's got explosiveness, crazy amounts of team speed on that Miami team. And I believe Mike McDaniel, who's an offensive head coach, who basically, I said it before, I said it the other day, he was hired to fix Tua. He was hired to make sure that Tua becomes a legitimate NFL starter, not a guy with a bunch of potential. And what I've seen so far, how smart he's playing and how smart the wide receiver group is playing, I've been very, very impressed.
Yeah, we've been very impressed with you. Ladies and gentlemen, let's run it Hasselbeck.
Yeah.
That was awesome. All right, let's take 5, and hour 3 will be on the other side. That was awesome.
Yeah, it was awesome. Incredible.
I think the Tua Non is going to enjoy that.
They're going to love it. Big time.
Hey, I got more later for the Monday night game tonight. Too.
Yes!
Here we go.
Here we go.
Two Monday night games tonight.
Yes,
How
we
about
do. 7:30, I believe, and 8:15, or
Yep.
7:15 and 8:15, or whatever the case is. One on ESPN, one on ABC. It's a great night to have a great night, and this dude just crushed it.
Hell yeah.
Thank you so much, Hasselbeck. Hour 3 will be on the other side of this 5-minute break. We'll have more of that. We'll take some phone calls on the 5 Energy phone line, 1-833-4-McAfee. Can't wait to talk to the people, and we got overreaction tweets we have to do.
Hell yeah.
AJ Hawk will join us again. We're still live at the Thunderdome. We appreciate you all so much. Take 5.
5.
You like Trey Lance, huh? You love the way he plays, you love the way he operates. How about how he handled the whole situation last year? I mean, this is isn't it kind of awkward situation going on over there, or not at all?
I mean, some would say it's definitely awkward. I mean, you trade 3 first-round picks for a quarterback. Like, there's writing on the wall. Like, it is what it is. It's the NFL. It's a profession. Everyone's trying to bring in younger, better, cheaper players. And then that's just the way the league is. And so there's an awkwardness to it, I guess. But at the end of the day, we're all here on the same team, and we're trying to win Super Bowl. So it's the lucky thing that we have here at the Niners is I feel like we have a fantastic culture of guys that just want to get better every day, and we love everybody in the locker room. So, Jimmy G could have, he could have been a dick and said, it's not my job, not my responsibility to take care of this guy and put him under my wing. But instead what he did is he was professional every single day. He didn't complain one time. He showed up, he worked, he started, he got us to an NFC Championship game and helped Trey along the way. And so I thought Trey took a bunch of steps forward. And for Trey to become a really good quarterback in the NFL, he needs reps. And so once this kid gets a lot of reps, just watch out, because some of the things I've seen him do in practice kind of mind-boggling me, so I'm waiting for it.
Yeah, he's considered what? Great athlete, right? Because obviously Aaron waited behind Brett Favre for 3 years, right? And I wish, and I've said this publicly a lot, and I'm sure the Luck family doesn't like this, I wish Andrew Luck would have sat behind Peyton for 1 year. Like, I wish Andrew Luck would have sat behind Peyton for 1 year to see how he operates in the building, how you operate with equipment managers, training, like everything like that. Trey getting an opportunity to watch Jimmy G do this. He's from the Tom Brady mentor camp or whatever. Did he make leaps? Like, did you see leaps and bounds as him as a player, as a football, as an NFL guy? Or is it just like a consistent growth with him and he's kind of just chill?
Both. I think it's consistently gotten better, but like you could see, like Jimmy G is a professional through and through. Like Jimmy G takes notes every single meeting. He asks questions every meeting. Like he's in his books. And I think once Trey saw that, he was like, oh, I need to do all that and more. And it's also, too, we have a great quarterback room. We got Nate Sudfeld in there, who's also got he's a nice little silly release. I like him a lot, too. He's great for Trey, too, because he's a people person. He helps Trey with the offense, and he did a great job helping him all year, too. So Trey has taken, in my opinion, big steps forward. Like, if you compare him to last year's OTAs, I think he's 2 different players. And that's just exciting to see. Now, if Trey Lance is the starting quarterback, and if I say if, because I have no idea what's going to happen.
Yeah, not your decision. Not your decision.
Yeah, thank God it's not my decision. It's all you, Kyle. You got this. I believe in you. But all reps. And, if there's growing pains, there's growing pains. I think we have a good enough team around him, from Trent Williams to Nick Bosa to Fred Warner to George Ayuk to Brent to Debo Samuel. We have enough guys around him to help him out through those growing pains. And so if it happens, it is what it is. And hey, you know what? If at the end of the day we have to run the ball 35 times, count me in, baby.
Yeah, you love that, huh? Just fucking mauling people.
Oh, hell yeah.
Was that last season where you threw a guy and then continued to run, or was that 2 seasons ago? I don't remember. It's kind of all getting tracked. You're an absolute savage, though. Huh?
It happens every season.
Hell of a machine.
310J, dude?
Oh, top of the line.
That's when they were singing about being sexy.
That's right.
Yes. The 310J, when somebody saw it, that's sexy, and then he was like, the country music, you're right, it is. She thinks my tractor's sexy. Oh, look at that
That's
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah,
Holy
dude.
shit.
Hey, that's got a good cockpit in there.
Yeah.
Kind of looks like the Pope Mobile with all the glass around the top there, but it ain't no Pope Mobile because this one's fucking breaking grind. Hell yeah.
Party in the front, business in the back, am I right?
Well, I do believe we got business,
Business
all
on both
sides.
ends, yeah.
Right.
Yeah, the plow down there in the front is, although a good time. It is a good time to get that thing going.
Fun.
Business is being handled, dude. Oh yeah.
Getting plowed.
And then on the back, on the backside, whenever you start cracking earth,
Oh yeah.
oh my
You
god.
need the excavator back there, the big dog.
And you know the thing about the seat on this 310J, it turns.
Yeah.
So it's always in the front. You know, whatever you're working on, business can be on the front, both sides.
That's right.
Controls all around.
We worried about those front tires?
No, not at all.
That's how they roll.
No, they survive anything.
Those are standard Deere backhoe tires.
Look at the back
Someone like
tires,
you might be worried
Foxy.
about
Yeah, exactly. Foxy.
I am just asking questions.
Foxy, it ain't about the front wheels. It's always about the back.
That's right.
All right, because these rear wheel powered vehicles that you would never understand.
Yeah, you don't know anything about that, Foxy.
You have no
I
idea.
would not know.
Wake up.
I got friends that know. I don't know.
Listen, when you're drifting gears, okay, on a rear wheel, especially for 600 some ponies, you got to watch for like any, plot holes or debris.
Of course.
Because you can and then hit a tree. Because the back end kicks out. And then you won't drive that car ever again. Because how are you not supposed to drift it? And I guess, how are you not supposed to hit another tree?
Yeah, right.
That's my life. Doesn't have to be yours, though. Thank you, Andrew, for calling from the 310J. That's a beautiful piece of machinery.
It is.
Gorgeous.
Take that thing another round. Oh, look at that thing prop itself up.
Lift kit.
That's why the wheels don't matter in the front, pal.
Yeah.
The Pat McAfee Show.
There'll be no rules for our guests, for us, for the things we can talk about.
Speaking his mind
I've never had a problem expressing my opinions or my thoughts or anything like that.
while being relatable.
I haven't had that manufactured fake-ass celebrity that a lot of people have whenever they go on those big networks. I've had a chance to really build my crew, build my following, build my audience.
And ridiculous.
What am I supposed to do? So I'm supposed to look at something that I can definitely afford and say, nah. Is that what I'm supposed to do?
The Pat McAfee Show starts in 3, 2, 1.
Hello, beautiful people. Hour 3 on this glorious Overreaction Monday, September 19th, 2022, live from the FanDuel Thunderdome begins right now.
Football
is all the way here. I don't know who did the extra yell there. I know it wasn't the man to my left. You're right. Man who's college football national champion, the Super Bowl champion, ladies and gentlemen, AJ Hall.
Baby AJ.
Hey, baby AJ. Great to see you, pal. You look fantastic. How about Let's Run It Hasselbeck? That was pretty sweet.
Oh, it's awesome. I think, watching Tua go through all his progressions, all that stuff, it was cool to see Hasselbeck actually lay that out and explain to people like kind of how that works.
If you haven't seen it, we've tweeted it out. It'll probably be a YouTube clip if I had to imagine. Hasselbeck lays out that although Lamar was fantastic and spectacular yesterday, had a one-of-one type day, it'll go down the record books. What we should remember is that this was a great depiction of the growth that Tua has shown in the NFL. His football IQ, his composure, him dropping the ball in the bucket with the weapons he has around him with McDaniel as the head coach. That was a great I felt like I actually learned some stuff. The Talks the Table at Boston Connor, at Ty Schmidt. Looks like you're nodding your head in agreement as well.
Well, I was just going to say, too, because a lot of people were making a big deal last week when in a press conference, too. It had the whole thing of like, hey, if you're not in my line of sight and I can't see you, I can't throw the ball to you, I can't get it to you. And, like, that just showed right there, like, he is going through his progressions. He's moving around in the pocket. Like, he is actually finding guys. Like, it's pretty sweet to see that. Like, people shit on Tua for whatever, his arm strength or whatever, but, like, you can tell, like, he actually is, like,
developing.
Yeah, for sure.
You're seeing the growth in the whole thing. And now Josh Allen obviously made the leap from year 1 to year 2, year 2 to year 3, year 3 to year 4, and then year 4 to year 5. He gets paid, and Josh Allen is on this trajectory, which we'll see if it continues somehow tonight against the Titans. I'm excited to see what Vrabes has in store for Josh Allen, because them against the Rams look like a day. I mean, that looked like a problem. And then the Rams come back, get a win over the Falcons, and they almost give that up late. So what are the Rams? We'll have to figure that out. But tonight, I'm excited to see Josh Allen. And if Tua continues to do that growth, and for the first time, he has a team that believes in him, right? That's empowering him.
That's what I said. First time ever he's had like a team that believes in him and is behind him 100%. He hasn't had that until now, until this year when McDaniel came to town.
Remember, McDaniel was on the plane to Miami to sign for the job, and he was calling to it. Now, I don't know how he had service up there.
Yeah,
That's a good
interesting.
question. So in that video, they were either waiting on the ground or they were already landed. But nonetheless, in his first trip to Miami as the head coach, he's calling to us saying, hey, I'm here to make you better. And I think what Hasselbeck just showcased there should get a lot of Dolphins fans excited. Speaking of excited, every full NFL Sunday slate will get a lot of people excited, either good or bad. There's always some sort of overreaction to what their team is going to become from every single fan base. This morning, we put out a bird call for people to tweet alongside us with hashtag PMS. I don't want to overreact, but it became a #1 trend in the United States within like 6 or 7 minutes. We appreciate the hell out of everybody.
Thank you
for participating. That's how big the NFL is. A stupid show like this is able to be a part of it, and we are lucky for that. And it's time to go through and scour the internet and see what people are overreacting to. Hashtag PMS, I don't want to overreact.
I don't want to overreact,
but that's pretty impressive, Foxy. I appreciate you putting it out there. I forgot we had music for it. Ty went through all of the tweets in which there were, I think, a few thousand.
There were a lot of them today.
And you found some good ones, you're saying.
Yeah, for sure. And sometimes when we do this, I feel like it's kind of like vanilla, but it, like you mentioned, it really was like skies falling, doom and gloom, or we're going to the Super Bowl.
And that's what Overreaction Monday is all about. That's what the NFL is all about. Your team either sucks or they're the greatest. That's what every Monday is for. Let's get to the first one here at Evan Foxy. From David Cheney, hashtag PMS, I don't want to overreact, but Lamar Jackson is going to account for more yards and points this season than idiot, than the Indianapolis Colts. This is very valid because Lamar yesterday became the all-time leading 100-yard rusher for quarterbacks in the NFL's history, passing Michael fucking Vick. He's the first player ever to have a 75-yard touchdown run and a 75-yard touchdown throw in the same game. He had a perfect passer rating for a large portion of it. They end up losing, so that stinks. Lamar cares. I think he wants his team to win. I think he does, even though he doesn't have the long-term deal locked in place or not. But the Colts look fucking trash. So I can't blame old David Cheney for taking a shot at the team here wearing a horseshoe, pal.
Yeah, they better get it figured out pretty quick, don't you think? The Colts, they better get back on track. You think you're down 0-2, okay, we're in a little bit of a hole. Let's find a way to win. And then you get down 0-3. The longer you get, the tougher it is. Oh, my bad, 1-1, right? 1-1.
There you go.
You know what? Honestly, that's not nearly as bad. It really isn't. Doesn't feel nearly as bad.
Really? I agree. Yeah, the Texans lose to the Broncos in maybe the most boring game of all time.
Yeah, by far.
And
Yeah,
the
that was
Texans
weird.
tied us and everything. That's really weird, right?
What's happening with Russ?
He's throwing some. Those balls don't look the same.
Looks like he's trying to cook too.
Yeah, what's going on?
Those balls don't look the same.
No, they don't.
And his head coach may be in over his head.
No, he's a Packer. Everybody likes him. Remember, that's the case. But the first game, obviously, question everything he did because McManus misses the kicks. Yesterday against the Houston Texans team that tied the Colts last week. What does that mean? We don't know. We'll find out in the end. That was just a terribly slow, boring, terrible football.
Oh, it was brutal. They hit a field goal and then got a delay of game. Did you see that?
Yes.
And then they had to punt it. What are we doing?
I mean, it was just bad football all around. But the Indianapolis Colts 0-1-1. All right? So not as bad as 0-2. I would assume you get like a 15% chance to make the playoffs, but I do respect the fact that Lamar probably will.
Yeah,
But good chance. At this point, it seems like that's going to be the case. Let's move on to the next overreaction. This is from Johnny C. Great mustache on Johnny C.
Wow.
Doesn't know how to operate the camera. I don't believe he can zoom out, Johnny, but it's okay. Nice little tight close-up on the upper lip decoration, Johnny.
yeah.
Hashtag PMS, I don't want to overreact, but the Bengals are washed. The O-line couldn't block a damn thing. Joey B and the Bungles are frauds. Wow, Johnny C. I don't know if he's a Bengals fan or not. And I'm happy we got to this tweet because there is a video that goes alongside of this from a man named Drew Garrison, who writes for the SB Nation, and I believe it's Jungle. He's a blogger for the Bengals. He has a great Twitter presence. He sent this overreaction video to me this morning about the Bengals. It does sound like what Johnny C. said is being echoed by all in the Jungle community.
I don't want to overreact, but the Bengals are fucking dead. All right? I got 3 Pee Wee football championship trophies back here. I could have won that game. We got Wish.com Sean McVay out here getting outcoached by Mike McCarthy, who's a placeholder until Sean Payton's fucking ready to go. We got the indoor practice facility. The team's getting soft. The Ohio grit, it's not there anymore. I don't understand it. Joey Burrow's running for his life. There's nothing going on. I don't want to overreact. We're fucking dead. Blow the bubble up. Tear it down. Stop construction. Stay outside.
Thank you to Drew Garrison for sending that in. Maybe it is the fact that they're becoming a 2022 company. They got their stadium sponsored. They got an indoor facility being built. They're not even in there yet. It is still just paint on the ground, basically. But maybe the team's getting a little soft. Or maybe that offensive line hasn't been figured out yet, AJ. It looks bad over there.
Yeah, it does take time. Like, we've talked to many different people in offensive linemen. It takes time for them to kind of gel and for all the new guys that are in there together to figure out, like, how each guy plays and all the nonverbal communication you like grow throughout the season you have. But they play the Jets this week, I believe. The Bengals. I actually will be in the stands for that game. They need to find a way to block this Jets defense.
AJ Hawk reunion game.
Oh,
that's right.
Put $1 million on the Bengals.
Exactly.
What were you about to say about the Bengals there, Boston Connor?
I mean, we mentioned it earlier about La'el Collins starting off with T.J. Watt and Micah Parsons. But, like, when La'el Collins got there, he said, there's a new bodyguard in town. Joe Burrow doesn't have to worry about anything. And it just doesn't seem like that's the case at all. And everything that they added that we were like, oh, okay, maybe the Bengals, they're spending money, they're building an indoor facility. Maybe, Joe Burrow's going to be on his feet. Joe Burrow's going to get killed. If he doesn't get more, help, whether they need to chip guys, use the running back, use the tight end, he's going to be dead by the time Week 10 rolls around.
0-2, 11.3% chance to make the playoffs, let alone what the stats are if you lose the Super Bowl. It's not good to make it back because of how devastating the loss is, how the offseason is. They didn't know what they didn't know. They were too young to do so. I did see Joey Burrow slide a couple times.
Yeah.
Hey, baby Joe.
Go, Joe.
Baby Joe.
Drew a couple penalties.
Still could have won that game last night. They lose the game. Sky is falling from Drew and Johnny C. and probably more of the Bengals fans. But they still could have won that thing, and the Bengals are always defying odds, right?
Yeah, I saw a lot of people online. I shouldn't say a lot of people, but a decent amount of people were saying, or I don't want to say putting it on Joe Burrow, but and maybe this is a question for Hasselbeck too, but like, do you think part of it is like he's got to, like, their O-line stinks, he's got to get rid of the ball quicker? Like, I feel like he's holding on to it, trying to make plays down the field, and maybe in part that's the reason why he's getting sacked so much.
I saw Andrew Whitworth, I think, tweet that out as well. I think he's saying similar fashion.
Trying to make plays.
Yeah, but he's trying to make plays, but this happens, the offensive line gets blamed completely, and then you'll talk to an offensive lineman, they're like, do you want to block for 4 seconds?
Throw the fucking ball.
It's Micah Parsons. It's T.J. Watt. They'll never say that publicly, so other offensive linemen feel like they have to speak for him. But nonetheless, Joey Burrow getting sacked 7 times a game is not a good way to harbor another Super Bowl berth. But maybe Zach Taylor and the Bengals will figure it out. Money McPherson was back. That was great to see. Another overreaction from the internet this morning. This is from Greg Wooten at Woody. Cliff decided to start out shitty this year to end on a high. The Cards are going to be a struggle, but going to have one of the most epic comebacks in NFL history. Cards over the Chiefs, 44-21 in the Super Bowl. Murray going to work that magic. Hashtag PMS, I don't want to overreact, but Cardinals get a big-time win over the Raiders. It was obviously electrifying to end that thing, and Kyler Murray can flip the switch and take over a game. The defense also riding that momentum, get a huge turnover on Hunter Renfrow and scoop and score that thing to the house. Cliff Kingsbury, everybody in Arizona celebrating their asses off, knowing that they stole one from Las Vegas. The flip the switch thing is very real, AJ. You think that team can go on a run? They get Hopkins back in 4 weeks now. That's obviously a game changer for the offense.
Yeah, having that on the horizon, knowing you're getting D-Hop back, absolutely, I think can kind of energize them and keep them going. But, I mean, that was a gigantic win for them yesterday. And speaking of offensive linemen, trying to, telling them that, hey, our guy's holding on to the ball too long. Can you imagine being a Cardinals O-lineman? You have a 20-second two-point play in the middle of a game.
There was only 3 people rushing, it felt like, in that particular
only
play.
2 at the end.
Kyler Murray becomes the first player in NFL history to run in for a 2-point conversion and throw a successful 2-point conversion in the same game, and also run in a touchdown and throw a touchdown in the same game. I believe he is the first ever. So there's a lot of records broken, a lot of first times. But J.J. Watt coming back seemed to energize the boys a little bit as well. He got a sack early. I think he was disruptive all day. When they get fully healthy, are they a team to watch for? They get a win. They don't end up 0-2. That's great news, I think, for everybody in Arizona.
Yeah, and it feels like, last year and the years before, it's like, oh, the Cardinals are going to peak too early, and then by the time we get to the playoffs and it really matters, they're going to fizzle out. With Hopkins coming back at Week 7, like, maybe they will kind of hit their stride when, you hope your team does and make a run. I don't know if they're going all the way because I believe there's a new Call of Duty coming out in January.
No, different year.
For sure.
year.
But I'm just saying, if there's a new Call of Duty, when the playoffs start, that's bad news bears for the Cardinals.
I love the Cardinals, though. I love that team. I like how happy Cliff Kingsbury was. He said in his press conference, normally on Sunday in Vegas, you're miserable and you just lost.
Yeah.
He said, this has been nice to have a little bit of a win here, especially after a long, hard-fought game. That was one of those games that flipped at half, and I guess we can say Kyler Murray and the Cardinals are all the way back because J.J. Watt is. I guess we'll see next week. That's honestly, they're a week-to-week team, and I'll bet alongside of them every single time.
And we said it like in terms of flipping the switch with Kyler too, they are kind of live by the sword, die by the sword, because like you see what he can do, extending plays, running around like that, and sometimes like early in that game he was kind of doing the same thing, and then boom, he gets sacked for a 14-yard loss, and they're looking at a 2nd and 31, and they ended up having to just punt, but then you see the other side of it too, where it's like he scrambles, he creates plays, and they're next to Lamar Jackson. Like there are very few guys that can do that.
Two bad picks from Kyler Murray early, but he flips it around whenever it matters. They get a big win. Let's continue to overreact around the internet. Let's go to Nate Morton at Nate_Morton24. Seems to be in a group. Got friends. No big deal. We hang out, have a good time. Hashtag PMS. I don't want to overreact, but I think it's about Kenny Pickett time, and I don't think Nate was the only one that said that.
No.
Ty, I assume you had to sort through a lot of people that were saying this. There was already...
What is that?
AJ, what are you doing?
AJ, what are you doing?
What'd you do?
It's not me. I wasn't controlling anything.
Seem like
Close your browser,
AJ,
dude.
come on. Is that
Pornhub
your
can
cookies,
wait.
dude?
Yeah.
Is that your cookies, bro?
looking up
Are
porn
they just popping
mid-show.
up on Zoom, dude? That's wild.
Was that my mouse? Was that my mouse that clicked that off?
Well, we don't
look like
Do
it.
we know?
I don't know what it was.
We can't see anybody's hands around.
it
here.
Axel?
Hand check. Oh, look how
Gross.
Jesus.
You walked right into it. Had to do it. No big deal. The Pittsburgh Steelers fans were chanting for Kenny loud in that game late. And I think the biggest breakdown of it all is, does it matter if Kenny Pickett's in there or not? A lot of Pittsburgh Steelers fans attacking Matt Canada and his offense. And the offense has been a problem for a long time. So much so that Snoop Dogg's video to Mike Tomlin about the offense from like 5-6 years ago has resurfaced and hits the exact same for every single Yinzer. Here's Snoop Dogg years ago about the offense and the offensive coordinator. Even though it was vastly different, still remains the same in Pittsburgh, it feels like.
Man, the Pittsburgh Steelers need a new fucking offensive coordinator. This guy sucks. Coach Tomlin, this is Snoop Dogg, man. Fire that motherfucker and get us a real offensive coordinator.
This was hitting the internet yesterday yet again. Snoop Dogg introducing himself to Mike Tomlin. But Matt Canada's offense seems to be one with just like training wheels on it for the quarterback. Seems like they're never going to take a shot. Is Mitchell Trubisky the problem? Is the offense the problem? Or is it just the way the Pittsburgh Steelers are going to be forever and their offense is going to be lackluster? I think the defense wonders that. I think the fans wonder that. And at the end of the day, I assume Mike Tomlin fucking wonders as well, AJ Hawk.
Yeah, he does. I would imagine it will be Kenny time sooner rather than later if they continue on this path, don't you think?
We talked about this earlier. If the offensive line sucks, do you want to throw Kenny Pickett out there? Minka Fitzpatrick, hey, he's ball hawking right now. They paid him, and he had been looking for a new contract for a while. He was drafted to the Miami Dolphins, was traded for a first rounder to Pittsburgh, almost won the defensive MVP the year he was traded to the Pittsburgh Steelers. Now he gets a new deal done, and he is ball hawking and flying around. Cam Hayward's still there. Highsmith's going to have to pick it up on the pressures department without T.J. Watt on the defensive side, though. Noticeable difference.
Yeah.
Noticeable difference, but all conversations around Matt Canada in that offense and whether or not they'll let Trubisky be great, or can they, because the offensive line's so bad. TBD, I guess, as the weeks roll on.
Well, and I think a couple weeks ago, I don't know if it was actually accurate or reported as true, but I believe Jay Glazer said that no matter what, Tomlin is going to start Mitch this entire year.
Well, that's what he wanted to do. Mm-hmm. I don't know if it was a no matter. Was it a no matter what?
Yeah, what I read was that he basically said no. Tomlin said Trubisky is starting the entire year.
And will it get loud in the crowd? Will Tomlin care? Tomlin does not care about what the outside noise is at all. He's just trying to win games. Remember, he doesn't send messages. He just makes moves.
That's right.
What will that next move be? Will it be to figure out how to fucking block, or will it be how the offense can be a little bit more aggressive and maybe open this thing up? It wasn't Roethlisberger, is what everybody in Pittsburgh's saying. Sounds like this might be Matt Canada's offense.
Well, I don't even know if it's the offense from watching yesterday, just because, they played well enough for them to win the game. It really came down to Gunnar Olszewski, muffing a punt and then the Patriots scoring versus the offense being slow because it was 17-14 and they scored 12 points damn near. and it would have got the job done.
Modern NFL, don't know if 14 points is going to do it, but I do appreciate everything you're talking about right here with Gunnar Olszewski trying to be the blame because he left the Patriots and went to the Steelers.
Yeah, rogue agent, a lot of people are saying. I don't know if that's true or not, but that's what people
Every
are
coach
saying.
that leaves New England normally stinks at every team they go to, dig them into a hole that they can't get out of.
Yep.
A lot of rogue agents potentially coming out of New England.
Mostly.
AJ.
Do the Patriots actually feel really good about this win?
Connor does.
Yeah, I mean, 1-1, get the first one off the board. You go Ravens, Packers, and then it kind of fizzles down a little bit.
And pull that play up of Aguilar making a play with Mac Jones throwing it down there. Aguilar is remembered most from that person being interviewed on local news in Philadelphia where they were catching babies that were getting dropped out of a building that was on fire. And the person that caught the baby said, we were catching babies unlike Aguilar. Kind of got a bad rep since then. Still a deep threat, still a monster. And Mac Jones and he went on a guy to get one of the only touchdowns of the whole damn game. Now, there ain't nothing old Cuz can do. This seems like great coverage by Witherspoon. But Aguilar going on his head with a ball from Mac Jones, you got to love to see it if you're Boston Connor. And I think that one play will live on for as long as it possibly needs to for the Patriots fans to have a little bit of optimism of what the offense can look like. Because they can run the ball well. Seems like Aguilar can make plays. Mac Jones wasn't scared to throw it into coverage one-on-one. My guy's better than your guy. I think that's why optimism is a little bit higher right now, right?
Yeah, absolutely, especially when you didn't think, Aguilar was going to have a great year. There are some parts of it. The tight ends haven't done shit. Devontae Parker hasn't done shit. But, yeah, there's hope. We'll see what happens next week.
Let's continue to overreact around the internet right now. Obviously, this was number one trend because a man named Dalen Hill, or lady, sorry, do not want to misgender, or they.
Or they.
Or them, do not want to get into that, whatever makes you happy. It is not my job to make you not happy.
Who are we to say?
No.
Whatever makes you happy.
We don't know.
That's right.
Nonetheless, Dalen Hill, hashtag PMS, I don't want to overreact.
But
Cooper fucking Cush is a dog, and he's going to go undefeated till Dak Attack gets back. And Dak might get back a lot sooner than anybody could imagine because Jerry Jones said on 105.3 The Fan last week that he sees Dak coming back within 4 weeks. Everybody says it's 6 to 8 weeks, but that ain't Dak. That ain't the Cowboys. So they don't even put him on IR because they think that's the case. In preseason and warm-ups, they saw Dak holding a football with that surgically fixed thumb, had a brace on it less than a week out from the surgery, so that made everybody think Dak was going to be back sooner than later. Then Cooper Cush comes out and starts dialing up fucking plays. Looked very confident, looked very comfortable. Brett Myers making some kicks. Maybe the Cowboys are just A-okay, AJ Hawk.
I felt good seeing Dak hold that football. I bet that was part of his rehab is, hey, you got to be able to hold the football like for an extended period of time early on, like real early rehab, I feel like, on that thumb. But, I mean, Cooper Rush, what do you do if he just goes on a run? This dude keeps up and they win 3 or 4 in a row.
Well, you definitely put Dak in because you paid him a couple $100 million, but it is funny watching him do the rotate the stick.
Yeah, Adam Banks.
That's kind of what it felt like whenever they had Dak. Hold that ball. Rotate that stick. Let's see what we got going on here. He had the ball back in his hand. Cooper Cush had a glorious red beard, great red hair, and a big-time win in prime time for them. I mean, what a fucking play by Mike McCarthy knowing that Cooper Cush was going to be A-okay.
Yeah, I mean, at this point, as long as they don't just capsize and collapse, right? That's all you can ask for from him. Like, as long, I mean, with that division, I guess we'll see what the Eagles do tonight. Giants are 2-0. Who knows? The Commanders absolutely fucking stink. But, I mean,
they don't stink.
They stink.
They almost won, almost beat the Lions. Lions were favored. Exactly what was supposed to happen.
Good
ball
game.
It
was a good ball game. But, I mean, if he can kind of just keep their heads above water, that's all you can ask for.
Did Kellen Moore call a good game? I don't think I broke down the analytics of what he called, what he didn't call with Cooper as opposed to Dak. Not much change, I don't think.
I don't think a whole lot changed. And sometimes when a backup comes in, I doubt the case with Cooper Rush, but they can kind of simplify the game plan. That helps. Sometimes that can help everybody. Like everyone on the outside, like, all right, I have less to think about. I have less different. There's not as many options that I have to have in the back of my brain, so they can kind of, maximize whatever they're really good at.
Last overreaction tweet from hashtag PMS. I don't want to overreact.
But
this one comes from Zach Klepper. The 1972 Dolphins will be the second best Dolphins team ever. 50th anniversary.
What?
Undefeated.
What?
MVP.
What?
200,000-yard wide receivers.
What?
Mick Deasy.
What?
Does sound like things are looking up in Miami, AJ. Let's give a FaceTime to our guy Gumpy to see if this is not just something that old Cuzzy's saying on the internet and all the Dolphins fans are saying. Talking to Gumpy and watching Gumpy react on Twitter might be better than how the team is playing. And after what Hasselbeck just showed us, it ain't luck. This seems to be like this team is for real, AJ Hawk.
Yeah, they are. The expectations, like the standard is set now, I feel like, for the Dolphins in the McDaniel's era. Like McDaniel comes in there, 2 games, he beat Bill Belichick in his first game. This game, who'd they beat? Harbaugh?
Harbaugh.
Yeah.
Harbaugh, obviously. Got beat guys, got free runners over the top, confusing defenses. Why not? McDaniel, undefeated, I'm sure. That's the top of their mind right now. McDaniel's talking to the team Wednesday morning. Hey, guys, we're 2-0. Let's just win all the rest of them. We got to go undefeated.
He seems to be a pretty transparent, normal coach, though. Like, when he's talking, it's not like he's trying to hide stuff. It's not like he's trying to bullshit. He's like, yeah, we talked the night before the game about facing some adversity. I was excited to see how the boys would respond. Seems like they took me a little bit too literally. We're down 28-3 or whatever, and then we come back and win. But I think the vibe down there is perfect. I think that everybody's bought in, and if you win, it's a lot easier to get people to buy in than if you lose. If they lose that game and get smacked like it looked like they were going to in the first 3 quarters, it's a much different ball game. But since they're winning these close ones, they're going through the adversity, they're beating the hell out of the Patriots in week 1, it's easier to build a culture that way, a culture that has been needed for a long time, because this team has stunk for a while. Are they all the way back? Joining us now, a man who's from top left Canada, who's a fan of the bottom right Dolphins. It might be the first time where he senses a little bit of maybe Lombardi in the future.
Perhaps.
Ladies and gentlemen, the man who's been exiled from America, Bubba Gumpino. Gumpy, you look amazing. The beard looks fantastic. Let's dive right into it. The Dolphins seem to be a team. Did you see what Hasselbeck was fucking saying earlier, pal?
That was one of the best things I've ever seen. That breakdown was fucking electric. I can't believe what I saw yesterday. 28-7, I thought we were dead. All of a sudden, McDaniel, Tua's got a shot now, like AJ said. First time he's got a fucking coach who believes in him and wants to play offense.
Gump, how do you feel about, obviously, the standard is set. I said that a couple minutes ago with the Dolphins. Are you going to be just absolutely crushed if they have just a tragic, downhill slide towards the end?
Why would you say that, Jay? What the hell?
I'm just asking. I'm trying to protect Goom's feelings. He's stuck in Canada.
All right. Okay.
No, all the Bills fans are saying they're going to crush us this week anyways. I mean, you have to think about the expectations here. Like, if the Dolphins get to the playoffs, I think you're ahead of the curve, I believe.
What do you think about the boys buying into McDaniel's thing? It sounds like they were all in. Now, when you win, it's easier to do that. But do you like the vibe he's putting out? Those sunglasses look super cool. Yeah. He's just very chill. This is perfect for the Dolphins and the Finns fam community, right?
Guess what kind of belt he was wearing yesterday, Pat?
What?
Ferragamo, my friend.
Wow. Got a little paisano around the waist. McDaniel's got the swag. It feels like the boys are buying in. Happy to hear you're happy in that front. Also, maybe getting back to America soon, huh?
What?
Let's fucking hope, dude. Jesus.
Oh, no.
Well, what if it was Dolphins win? I mean, there's a chance that the universe says, well, Gump.
Hey, one or the other.
And let's hope that isn't the case, because we don't want to be like AJ, but we love you, pal. Dolphins fans pumped, huh?
Hell yeah. First time in a long time, a team to be very excited about on the offensive side of the ball.
Not just the defensive side of the ball. Even though Gesicki had the worst gritty of all time.
By far.
Team's buzzing. Ladies and gentlemen, Bubba Gumpy.
Here we go.
All right, let's hit some topics around the NFL that we haven't covered nearly enough. And I do believe that we should chat about Russell Wilson and this Broncos team. That game against the Texans was terrible football.
Brutal.
It was that was the introduction from Broncos fans, for Broncos fans, for the Russell Wilson era in Denver. They were mockingly, because if you do remember the run-pass situation that Russell wanted from the sideline during games, they were counting down the play clock to Russell and to Nathaniel Hackett to let them know where they were, as if it was like a student section in high school, counting down a shot clock and doing the time wrong. They were doing it right for Russell to hear. All hands on deck in Denver to get a win. Are they going to be okay, you think? Is that team going to be all right? They get a win. They go to 1-1. The Texans can't really do anything positive against them. Is that Broncos team going to be okay, or does it feel like they're a bit overhyped, AJ? I don't want to overreact, but are they a bit overhyped?
I don't know. I mean, it looks like it right now if Russell doesn't get on track and be the Russ that we have seen him in the past. But I don't know what it is. Like, he's 100% healthy, right? He doesn't have any underlying issues that we know about.
No, he had a good man brand on.
Yeah, I know.
He was walking in the Rolls Royce.
Healthy.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe just some growing pains, man. New system, new coach, everything, just some growing pains.
You think Nathaniel Hackett is going to go down as a legendary head coach? Do you know him personally, or just know him through Aaron and others?
I only know him through other people, and yeah, everyone loves him. But yeah, there's a lot of you're a head coach, man. There's a lot of decisions you have to make in the moment. It's tough,
especially for the richest owner in the NFL. I mean, Robson Walton. You know, he just extended Russell for $260 million. If they're going to play this brand of uninspired kind of boring-ass football. I don't know how long that lasts, but let's assume Hackett's still getting his program in there. A win's a win. It's not easy to win in the NFL. We should be happy and move on and just assume everything's okay at Mile High.
Yeah, but I feel like it's different because they're in the AFC West. Like, it's not like they are going to be able to kind of meander through games and barely win them with, like, the Texans game. Like, the Chargers, Raiders, Chiefs, I don't think there's anything that the Broncos have done where it's, yeah, I'd take them over any of those other teams. Even the Raiders. The Raiders are 0-2, and I still think I would be more confident in them than in the Broncos.
Yeah, but they have clear eyes, full hearts now that they got to win.
True, and they have Jesus Christ himself on their, his side, and Russ is the chosen one. But I'm just saying, when it comes to the skill on all the other teams, it just feels like they're still behind everybody else.
What are you saying, Ty?
Well, I used to think that, but it seems like everyone fucking hates Russell's guts.
Whoa,
So
not
maybe,
everybody.
Who does?
Well, a lot of people do, I think. A lot of people. Maybe his current teammates are
Not in
okay
Denver, though.
currently.
Not in Denver yet.
Yeah,
Not
a
yet.
brand new start in Denver.
Not yet. But we'll see. I mean, hey.
They just won.
You beating the Texans 16-9.
Well, we said this is a
Better
football
than
roster,
time.
right? It was a Super Bowl roster. They just needed the quarterback, so now they just need Russ to play like a Super Bowl quarterback,
Well,
right?
I think to Pat's point too, though, is like you have the richest owner in the league now. Like, guess what? He didn't pay this guy all that money to beat the fucking Texans by 7 points at home in one of the most boring games of all time. Maybe he doesn't care because he doesn't know how to pronounce Roger Goodell's name, but also like that. It's the same deal with Tepper. How long is it going to be like, hey, guess what? I've already put my nuts on the table. I have a lot of fucking money. I'm not losing anymore.
So let's move to the Carolina Panthers, who get another loss, and that's 9 straight losses for the Carolina Panthers. And obviously, it was close, and Graham Gano was a stallion. Absolute stud. You should have drafted him if you had the opportunity in your fantasy football league, even if you told him directly to his face that you did draft him and you didn't. You'll be cursed forever. Graham Gano hits long balls. The Giants seem to have a new vibe, a new atmosphere. Kenny Golladay, who's getting paid $30-some million next year on the salary cap with Gettleman's deal, he was only on the field for 2 plays. So it is very clear that Daboll is trying to set a brand new culture. I don't know if Daniel Jones is going to be the answer long term. Seems like he is a bit like this, but they're getting wins. They're 2-0. Congrats to the Giants.
Man.
And on the flip side, the Panthers, who are not scared to move on. Hey, Tepper will cut your ass. He will let a quarterback get the hell out of the building. It doesn't matter how much I paid you, how much I extended you. If I don't think I can win a Super Bowl with you, see you later. That's what these rich dudes have the capability of doing, is overpaying and then moving on. Might be happening with Matt Rule soon, right? I mean, Baker, obviously, we'll see how it all goes. We're only 2 weeks into it. We have to remember that. We're only 2 weeks into the season. But if Matt Rule continues to lose, I said it on game day, why not Nebraska look at him? I mean, there's a chance that this guy is out of an NFL job soon just because we know that the owner is, hey, we're fucking winning now. Carolina Panthers got to get it figured out, AJ.
Yeah, they do. I don't know if they will or not. I mean, we that was the question coming in. Like, how's Christian McCaffrey doing? Like, were they able to limit him much in that game?
They used him a little bit. I mean, he was used in different ways.
Yeah.
I think Baker was able to make some magnificent plays late to kind of come back and put them in that thing. I mean, there is those moments.
They just need something. Like, compare them to what the Giants are doing. Like, the feel that the Giants organization has right now. Like, there's so much juice. There's so much confidence. They don't know really how good they can be, I guess, but the Panthers are still searching for what they are.
And I think, like, look at what happened with the Jets. You look at, like, some of these teams that get wins and then get losses.
Mm-hmm.
It's like the Panthers now, Cade York hits a 56 or 58-yarder, rookie kicker in his first game to beat him. Then Graham Gano goes from, like, 56 to beat him. It's like these things are, when you break down film, you go, 2 more plays went our way, we win this game. This ball doesn't go in, that statistically doesn't normally go in, we win this game. But instead it's like, no, they are going against us. How the hell do we stop this from happening? And sometimes you can kind of get underwater with bad luck and bad bounces, and it's almost like not your fault, but still kind of your fault, and that's the NFL, baby.
Well, and with Tepper is, because of all that money, you really do wonder, like, if Lamar Jackson, this whole entire thing goes, are they going to throw money at him? I feel like we're going to find out how much Sean Payton loves New Orleans, because if he is interested in coaching, who says Tepper doesn't throw $100 million at Sean Payton to bring him in? Because he isn't going to wait around, especially after the last couple of years. He's tried with Darnold, didn't work. Decided, you know what, we'll still pay him, and then we'll bring in another guy and pay him too with Baker. Not really working so far. He seems to be the next coach to just throw the kitchen sink at everybody and anybody and make them good overnight.
I'm excited to see what he does, man. Those uber wealthy folks, and we heard it from Mara.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
I know they make a lot of money, and it is a cash cow, the NFL and all that. But when they hang out amongst the ups, and your team sucks, Tepper, super competitive. We heard stories, and we don't know if it's real or not. Tepper bought somebody's house that had slighted him in the past?
Yeah, maybe married his ex-wife or something like that.
Huge. Bought the house, tore the whole thing down.
Yeah.
Just tore it all the way down. We know that Tepper's a little bit of a dog.
New practice facility.
Stopped it. You don't want to fucking hold up your end of the bargain? Don't care. We'll file bankruptcy too right here. Like he is a... So let's assume that when he's talking to these other yups, he doesn't necessarily enjoy the fact that he's been on 6 different quarterbacks already, numerous offense coordinators, still haven't been able to find a way to win. He's going to keep searching until he can do it. Is that with Matt Rule? He better start winning. Is it with Baker Mayfield? They better start winning. Even though there's a couple plays in every game that they could have won, it does not matter if the results don't say it.
Considering how they've looked too, like I honestly wouldn't be surprised if Carolina starts 0-3 or 0-4, I think they will fire Matt Rule.
All right, let's take 5 because we will have Matt Hasselbeck back with some more. Let's run it back. Hassel back for tonight's Monday Night Football games. A couple things we should look for in the quarterbacks that are playing this evening. Not all 4 of them, but a few of them are getting spotlighted. And then we'll ask Hasselbeck how he feels about the games tonight, AJ. You have a lean on tonight's games already?
I don't. I want to see Hasselbeck's breakdown a little bit before I make my decision.
All right, let's take 5, and we'll do that on the other side. The first Let's Run It Back Hasselbeck was incredible.
Yeah.
Can't wait to see how he backs it up for tonight's Monday Night Football games. 1 on ESPN, 1 on ABC. It's a beautiful Monday. We can't thank you enough for watching. Take 5.
5?
Big brain football. Man, I love this. What is it about this spectacular game that we all love? The passing, the running, the hitting, the kicking, the scheming, the drama, the athleticism.
Let's go. Right here, big drop.
I think it's a combination of all those things, but I believe it all boils down to this. The competition level is fucking awesome.
For the win with 2 seconds left.
A finger can literally be the difference between a W and an L.
What a turn of events!
It's what makes football wildly fun to watch and in turn, wildly fun to bet on, but I digress. The reason I'm doing this segment every week is to hopefully grow the respect for the game and to give love to the players who make all of this shit happen. Not just their skill and their amazing playmaking ability.
What I really like is the finish, man. Not a lot of guys will be able to make that 6 points.
This will be all about respecting these guys' big fucking brains.
Strong like bull. Smart like tractor.
You gotta be smart in this game, man.
Coaches usually get all of the credit in this beautiful minds of football space, but I want to shine a light on the players' brains.
Let's go do this thing, baby. Let's go.
Stuff like Mahomes and Kelsey cooking up a last-second drive in one of the best playoff games of all time.
They play it like that seam is open. That ball go down immediately.
Bills rush 4. Mahomes throws. Kelsey open inside the 40. Breaks the tackle and down.
And stuff like this, all from week 1. How about scary Terry McLaurin recognizing a corner is playing lazy cover 2 technique all game, telling everyone and their mother about it.
Try to let us run by that dude, bro. This cover 2, bro. They playing it so lazy. They're playing lazy over there all day.
Then, in the 4th quarter, when it matters, Carson Wentz hits Terry behind that lazy cover 2 corner.
Taking a shot down the field. There's McLaurin. Out of the dead. And in.
That's big brain football.
Come on, man. Hey, I been lazy all day. All day.
How about Sunday night in Dallas? Tom Brady asking Mike Evans, "What you want, babe?" And Evans calling his shot. Give it a fade.
Yo, Tom said, "What you want?" Tom said, "What you want, babe?" I said, "A fade."
He knows the man across from him and knows how to beat him.
I know how to get him. He trying to do that little stab. Yeah. I slow blade. Back out. I slapped him so hard right there at the line. Watch me see him. I slapped it out of him.
That's some beautiful big brain football.
Hard to beat in the air, Mike Evans.
Which brings us to our main feature this week, Josh Allen. He doesn't just have a big arm. He doesn't just have big cojones. He has a big old brain, too.
Hell yeah, hell yeah, hell yeah, hell yeah.
Up 14 against the world champs, 3rd and 4. He's across the line from a man who called him trash just 4 years ago. Allen knows that particular man peeks and cheats himself, a big brain player trying to gain an advantage. Often, with eyes more on the quarterback and less on the receivers,
He's thinking you ain't gonna throw a ball deep. So five is literally looking and not even worried about you on the trips. Allen knows Jalen Ramsey loves sitting on routes, especially on 3rd and 4. The money down. So he tells his guy, Mr. Minneapolis Miracle himself, Stephon Diggs, hey, dude, don't run the called route. Just go deep.
Can you take us through the touchdown, just what you saw in that play?
Josh told me, showed me just run. Allen's hunch that 5 would peak and Diggs could get behind him paid off like a same-game parlay.
Their corners were really looking at the quarterback, and Diggs just ran a heck of a route.
Zone cover, Jalen Ramsey was trying to read the eyes of Josh Allen and let Diggs go past him, and Josh Allen soars it over Ramsey's head.
The look on Josh's face when he runs up on Ramsey is quite a, what was that, pal? moment. I'm sure he's saying something like, I knew you would do the exact thing you just did, so I told my guy to adjust, and we beat your ass. That's not trash, Jalen. That's not a garbage pick. No, that's big brain football. Look at him, he gonna start. It was simple. I knew it. It was simple. I said, all right, go.
I hang my hat on as a player that he got that dog.
The amount of times this stuff happens in an NFL game is straight up wild. I was lucky enough to see it firsthand from the sheriff and so many other genius teammates. Every week this season, you'll get this feature right here on this show from us and our friends at NFL Films, giving love to the players for their commitment to the game, for their smarts, for their big brain football.
Wasn't no butch. I just got a big brain, bro. I got a big brain. Smart guys who do hey.
Today's show is presented by Cash App in their That's Money campaign.
Hell yeah.
Tua leading a comeback? That's money. Kyler scrambling for a 2-point conversion? That's money. When personal finance connects you to both your funds and the stuff that matters, that's money. And that's Cash App. You know what else is money, guys?
What's that?
Choosing your own cash tag. Buying Bitcoin or stocks with as little as $1,
What?
being able to handle our giveaways quickly,
What?
spending
Why?
quickly enough, you know.
Why?
Sending,
Why?
saving, investing, splitting,
Why?
tipping,
Why?
donating, gifting, all in a single finance app. That's money. That's Cash App. Download Cash App and use code McAfee for $15. Terms apply.
We love Cash App because it makes the giveaways a lot easier to do. You have to have a cash tag to win any of our giveaways. I assume we'll do one later this particular show, but right now it is time for edition number 2 on this glorious Monday, September 19th for Let's Run It Hasselback. Talking about some of tonight's Monday Night Football quarterbacks, 2 games tonight as the Titans and the Bills play and the Vikings and the Eagles play.
Yeah.
I believe we're starting with Kirk Cousins breakdown with
Yeah,
Justin
we're going to start
Jefferson.
with the second game, the game on ABC tonight, okay? This is the 8:15 game, okay? Kevin O'Connell came to Minnesota to coach Kirk Cousins, okay? Last year, he was with the LA Rams. They found all different creative ways to get Cooper Kupp, a great receiver, open, okay? They're doing the exact same thing with Justin Jefferson, okay? This is what they're going to do. Roll the tape, Foxy. They're going to go from one side of the field to the other. Here's Justin Jefferson on the left side of the field, left side of the formation. He's going to end up all the way to the right, okay? So check it, let it roll. Buy some time. He's going to catch the ball on the other side of the field on the numbers. Next play. This is against the Packers last week. Again, so Justin Jefferson, roll the tape. He's on the left side of the field up top. These guys are running deep posts. Kirk's reading them. Captain Kirk's reading them for sure. But here comes Justin Jefferson, public enemy number 1, catching the ball on the numbers on the other side of the field. Very hard to defend.
Oh, us or nobody throw there.
When you
too.
when you go one-on-ones, you cannot. You basically can't run these against. Next play, it'd be kind of illegal against your buddies to do this. Okay.
Oh.
All right, left side of the field. Here,
Why? Because
okay?
you can't cover somebody that long.
Yeah, because basically, like if Darius Butler was in practice and T.Y. Hilton was going to like line up against him, like there's like a unwritten rules like what routes you're allowed to run. The unwritten rule is you're not allowed to run a route that you're going to run all the way to the other side of the field. It's kind of like, it's just basically over here, like by the numbers, maybe getting into the hash, the near hash, but you can't run all the way to the other side of the field. Like that doesn't count.
Yeah, because but never be able to protect that long, right? That's kind of the thought. The play's over.
And it's like uncoverable. is what I would say. So
So Kevin O'Connell brings in an uncoverable play for
That's
Justin
what I
Jefferson.
think. So here's Justin
Not
Jefferson
good.
down here at the bottom. Little eye distraction, a little candy up here, just smoke and mirrors. Roll the tape. Justin Jefferson, far outside receiver on the left. We're going to run double post up top, and here he goes, all the way to the right. It's just very, very difficult to defend.
How come everybody doesn't do that?
Yeah, is it just
Why isn't this everybody doing it?
Yeah, you should. You should. Sometimes with that kind of a route combination, people will leave a tight end into block and an extra running back into block, and they think, oh, that's more protection, but usually that's worse protection. So that's something simple to look for tonight. Justin Jefferson, one side of the field, all the way to the other side of the field.
So when they're playing the Eagles tonight, the Eagles know that they're going to do this, right? How do you stop for that, you think, or do you not care?
You got to get a pass rush. That's basically the answer.
Eagles D-line.
You got to get a pass rush.
So this is offensive line of the Vikings versus Philadelphia Eagles defensive line and outside pass rusher.
Yeah, and to keep it just simple, like Justin Jefferson, watch when he catches the ball, if he started on one side and went all the way to the other side of the field.
That means the offensive line's doing well.
Yeah, probably.
And Kirk Cousins can sling it.
All right, I really want to get to the next game. Okay, the other
right,
game.
yeah.
Two games on a Monday night. I don't know what to do.
Hell yeah.
Oh, this guy.
So before we start this one, okay, so Derrick Henry's on the other side, right? Tennessee Titans. Leading rusher in the last 4 years in terms of touchdowns for the running back position. Well, who's number one in touchdown runs at the quarterback position? This guy, Josh Allen. Run the tape, Foxy. Here we go. This is what you got to watch this guy right here. This is the right tackle. I call this tackle express. He's going to be a lead blocker, so we're going to fake a run to our running back to the right, and then our right tackle is going to be our lead blocker to the left on this outside end man on the line of scrimmage. And Josh Allen is your run right up the gut, 7-yard run. Like, that's very, very tough
How
to
often
defend.
does a right tackle pull?
Yeah.
Very seldom. It's the guards and the centers who typically pull. Tackles do pull, but it's not nearly as much as guards.
Got it, okay.
Okay, so here's the next one. Next play, please. This is very difficult. You have to honor the run. It's a fake run to the right, naked bootleg pass. So we hear all about RPO, run pass option. This is, I'm just making up this acronym. It looks like a run, pass, run option. So,
Ripro.
Yeah. So check this out, okay? This is just a play action to the right. It's a naked bootleg. Here we go, little eye candy. We're going to fake a run to the right, and nope, we're pulling a guard. It's actually a bootleg to the left. This is a pass. This is number 1 in the progression out of the screen. Stephon Diggs is number 2 in the progression. He's going to put his hands up. But Josh Allen here is number 3 in the progression. So it's a 1, 2. Josh, you're number 3 read on the progression. And look at that, a clean 13 yards.
So him being the runner that he is the real weapon that the Bills have because you have to honor it at all times.
Well, here's the thing. We don't think about that. When you say Josh Allen, what do you think about?
Throw the ball.
Arm strength. So let this one roll here, okay? He's going to drop back here. Check where he is here, okay?
This is the same play, I think.
He's going to drop. Oh, same play. Next play, please. Next play. He's going to drop back on his drop. He's basically going to hit the minus 37-yard line on his drop right there. And then he's going to buy a little time. So you got to defend every blade of grass with this guy. Every blade of grass. Why? Because he can throw it to the moon, okay? Roll the tape. Just let this run. This is what I think of when I think of Josh Allen. You got to defend the entire field. And he throws it basically to the end zone. He started at the minus 37.
Yeah, so also on this play, this was set up all game. Gabe Davis and he talked on the sideline. We know this from Big Brain Football. That is not the play call. He actually told Stephon Diggs to just run a go because 5 had been peaking with trips to the left all game. This was an in-game audible between Josh Allen and Stephon Diggs, and he made it even look off so Jalen continued to peak and then make the big play. If you're strong, ride bull.
That's right.
Smart, ride tractor.
That's right.
Seems like Josh Allen is both the bull and the tractor in this particular case and going to be tough to stop for anybody.
No doubt. And they have what we call in the quarterback room a mailbox. So, like, if you have a comeback route and you're supposed to run a comeback, but you run by the guy that you're supposed to, run a comeback on, you just throw up the Randy Moss mailbox signal. So you're running. It's super subtle, but you're just like mailbox. And if the quarterback sees that mailbox signal, he's just like, okay, we're going deep. The route that we called in the huddle, all bets are off.
So Josh Allen has the ability to make any play. He's smarter, he's stronger, he's faster, he's wealthy now. When did this all come about, you think? Is this a part of the development of Josh Allen, and how much better can he get?
Yeah, great development. I got one more play, though, okay?
Oh,
you got one more play. Even when you call the perfect defense, this is them calling the perfect defense, week 1, 3rd and goal. Raheem Morris, defensive coordinator, let it run, calls the perfect defense. Here we go. Everybody's covered. Nope, almost threw an interception. Nope, you got Bobby Wagner.
Oh, man.
Posterized. Like, this is what is just so amazing about him. This is why I believe the Bills will be in the Super Bowl this year. This is why I believe that Josh Allen has a chance. He'll probably be the runner-up for the MVP this year because he is next level as a
why runner-up then?
Who's winning?
Who's winning it?
Tua?
The guy who's going to win the Super Bowl. We'll leave that alone.
Kirk Cousins.
All right, so let's not talk about Super Bowls anymore. Let's talk about tonight's games with your big brain, one on ESPN, one on ABC. We're getting a twofer, and I can't wait for it. You broke down why Josh Allen is great, not just the big arm, the big brain, but the ability to run and the way to utilize blocking schemes to help him run. It's almost unguardable. And in the other game, you broke down Justin Jefferson routes with Kevin O'Connell, unguardable. So we assume you're going with the Vikings and the Bills. Is that an accurate read?
I'm going with the Bills, but the Vikings game's really tough because it is like a heavyweight matchup, and Jalen Hurts is playing some good football. Listen, they've got 4 guys that can run the ball in Philly, but I'll still take who'd I take? I'm still taking Minnesota Vikings. Yeah,
Okay.
Captain Kirk and Justin Jefferson.
All right.
Oh.
Hey, we appreciate you making us smarter. We appreciate you making us better. And I think, AJ, did that change any of your thoughts on who you're going to bet on this evening, pal?
I am riding with Matt, actually. That was my thought going in, and he reinforced my thinking, actually, through his little breakdown.
And that's what social media is all about, right? Is somebody reinforcing your own opinion?
Yep.
That's what we all want, right? We all want to live in our own little bubble and not look outside of it.
That's what we're looking for, and I feel like I just got so much smarter. Matt, thank you so much.
Thank you,
What
Matt.
a debut for Let's Run It. Hassel.
Love it.
Back 2 times, about 20 minutes of greatness. We can't thank you enough. Let's take 5, and then hour 4. We'll answer some phone calls on the 5 Energy phone line, which I think we're getting figured out. Little technical difficulties. We'll chit-chat and clean up everything we're doing, and we'll make our official picks, AJ Hawk. Sound like a plan?
I can't wait. Yes, sir. Let's do it.
Little 4-hour overreaction Monday in a brand new Thunderdome. This show has flown by, mostly because we've had a professor basically come in here and break down football. Matt, we appreciate you. We'll see you next Monday.
Hell yeah.
And we'll see everybody in 5. Take 5. See you then. Goodbye. Dabbling more on the internet? I know you don't really do it much, but
never.
you are beloved on there, Chuck.
Hey, Pat, never going on the internet.
Chuck!
Never go. No, because 2 things. Number 1, once you're successful, I always say, being successful is like being the homecoming queen. All the ugly bitches hate you. I mean, that's the truth of the matter. When you're successful, you're gonna have built-in enemies. And then the more successful you become, the more enemies come at you. So I don't want to give them access to me because I'm not that guy. If you say something mean to me, I got to say something mean back to you. When I was younger, I used to fight all the time. I'm too old to fight now, but I can still verbalize some insult.
Yes.
And like, let's say if I'm out drinking, because people know I like to drink. If I'm drinking my vodka or some tequila and you insult me, there's a 100% chance I'm going to say some shit back at you. And the problem with being famous, Pat, and I don't like calling myself famous, but it is what it is.
Yeah,
People can say anything they want to me, and nobody gives a shit. But the first time I go crazy on their ass, I'm going to get crushed.
Yeah, you're not classy. You're not professional, obviously. Yeah. Be a
so
gentleman.
I choose not to let people have access to me in that situation.
Joining us now is a man who got to experience that at Notre Dame.
Yeah.
Got to experience it in the NFL. Now he's on television. He's this man's brother-in-law. He's obviously incredibly handsome. Ladies and gentlemen, Brady Quinn.
Yay!
Holy hell. Jesus. You look like that all the time.
I don't know if you guys can see what's behind me. I think AJ might be more familiar with this picture. So hopefully AJ can elaborate or add some context to all this.
Is that Chopper up over your left
That's
ear?
Chopper. Yeah, that's
Wow.
Chopper.
AJ, what?
How'd you get that in your background?
What happened? He's so...
Well, this is a golf cart submerged.
Why are you fully dressed underwater?
Thank you, Brady. Okay. Brady, yeah, you I guess we have to mention it, Brady. This is, Pat, this golf cart, the e-brake, just didn't work on me. I was parking close to the green. I rode that joker right into the pond because it took a hard right turn. This is like 12 years ago. I jumped in instantly. Oz is the other guy looking for his sig. There was no help. And then Brady and Chopper were in my group. They came up about 10 seconds later, and they both just dove in instantly and started helping.
Yeah. So you, hold on,
we
Brady.
did not finish our round.
You drove this cart directly into this pond.
Well,
you are a fucking menace behind the wheel, AJ. You drive with both feet. You sleep. Your hands are all deformed because of your broken fingers. You're driving golf carts into ponds. Straight up. Are you blacked out drunk in this thing?
No, I wish I was. That's the problem. I was not.
Sober.
Oh my God, this guy.
I was trying to get there.
Brady, how do you let this guy marry your sister? How do you let this guy marry your sister, Brady?
Let me add some more context to all of this, okay? This is at Rattlesnake Ridge. This was the first year, our first fundraiser for my foundation, the Third and Goal Foundation, which helps support wounded vets. So
Great
AJ
cause.
was kind enough to come out and obviously support the cause. Now, I guarantee you he was not sober for this because we actually took a party bus to Rattlesnake Ridge.
Oh, AJ, boozing and driving.
No one was sober at this thing.
What I'm saying is, I played many times with many more drinks in me and didn't wreck a cart, is all I'm saying.
Oh, okay.
Sure.
All right. Chopper hopping in there, though. Is he scuba diving?
Well, he dove to the bottom and grabbed some clubs.
He did. He said all you had to do was open your eyes in that murky water and you could find whatever you need to down there. All those eyes were burning afterwards.
Don't break the table, obviously. I didn't break shit. Sorry, man. Somebody came sprinting behind the barrier and tried to spear him. I fucking dare somebody. Oh no! I dare the next ass kicking. Saudi Arabia. Riyadh. Taking a jet plane. All the way there. All the way back. On the way back. WWE champion. How you doing? Hell yeah! Guys destroyed our shit.
The Pat McAfee Show.
There'll be no rules for our guests, for us, for the things we could talk about.
Speaking his mind.
I've never had a problem expressing my opinions or my thoughts or anything like that.
While being relatable.
I haven't had that manufactured fake-ass celebrity that a lot of people have whenever they go on those big networks. I've had a chance to really build my crew, build my following, build my audience.
And ridiculous.
What am I supposed to do? So I'm supposed to look at something that I can definitely afford and say, nah. Is that what I'm supposed to do?
The Pat McAfee Show starts in 3, 2, 1.
Hello, beautiful people. Hour 4 on this Overreaction Monday, September 19th, 2022. Live from the Thunderdome. Starts now.
Football!
Matt Hasselback on his way to a plane. We can't thank him enough for joining us. That was amazing. To my left, your right, AJ Hawk is here. The Talks at Table is represented well with at Boston Connor, at Ty Schmidt. Tone Diggs not here because he had a baby this morning with his beautiful wife. Congratulations.
Congrats, Tony.
Very happy for Tone. All the boys in the back, incredible work thus far. And today, figuring it out, at Evan Foxy, at Viva Lazito, and obviously Nick Morato's back there. Paulie B on the right side of your screen, if you're looking. That's the man who was handling all the audio, was tasked with that. Created the necklace lav that they use in Jersey Shore.
Genius, unbelievable.
Zito's currently on the phone trying to figure out the phones, the 5 Energy phone line. That's probably going to continue to be a work in progress, as will everything be at this studio. We can't thank everybody enough for kind of putting up with the first day here, AJ. It's going to be fucking pretty electric place to come work every day.
Yeah. I think it's gone pretty smooth for what you guys did, like moving into this giant new studio and getting everything going.
Yeah, middle of the season. You know, obviously it was an aggressive take, but had to get out of downtown.
Had to do it.
Had to get out of downtown. Had to get up here. Work was done by a lot of people. We had like 70-some employees, I think, come in working here in different trades and unions and everything like that. And we appreciate everybody's hard work to get us here.
Thank you all.
Everybody.
Now, the audio the first hour, though, if we would have known that was going to happen, we would not have gone live from this place today.
No chance.
Because I watched the basketball shot go in. That's maybe the most despicable thing we've ever put up, but it was a great shot, so I guess
Had
we'll
to
let
do
it
it,
run.
yeah. First
But if
one,
people
too.
didn't know the show existed, listen to that, they would never listen to our show, right? That, like, not going to turn that on. It sounds terrible. Turns out that's going to happen whenever you're building a brand new studio and there's a lot of wires in a lot of places.
Yeah.
They got to figure it out in the back in beautiful fashion. Congrats all, boys.
Thank you, boys.
All right, AJ, we got to make some picks for tonight officially. It's time to do that.
Whoa. I don't know what the lines are. I can't wait to see.
All right, we got some beautiful graphics, and I think tonight with a double header is beautiful for. We don't have those.
No graphic.
Oh no, the show stinks. We're moving to a new.
Oh, jeez.
Move into a new studio.
Grown
Don't
pains.
even have the.
New era.
We sold out. We got no.
No.
Got no graphics.
We got no graphics.
No, we got the highlights still. Highlights were sweet today.
Highlights were sweet.
Like
I feel
the
like we
Finns.
learned a lot.
Yeah, the Dolphins, Ravens being able to show that like entire comeback.
Yeah, but we robbed Peter to pay Paul. We lost graphics. We got rights. I mean,
Well,
that's
I'm sorry,
footage
Peter.
rights. Sorry, not a game rights. AJ, footage rights. Please have a little respect for that whole thing.
Yes. Footage.
Yeah, footage rights, which everybody has. It has been great. So let's go in and see what the live update is here for both games this evening. Tonight, and I don't know if we have a super boost, but Darius Butler does. He has the same game parlay. I don't know if it's boosted or not. D-Bud has the Bills to win, Diggs over receiving yards, Josh Allen to pass for 250-plus yards, Tannehill over rush yards, and Derrick Henry anytime scorer. That one feels really good. That thing is currently sitting at plus 1,235. That seems like a good bet.
How many rush yards for Tannehill?
What is that number?
Show more. Tannehill, 10.5.
Okay, I like that.
That Bills D-line.
Plus 1235 right now at FanDuel Sportsbook with what Darius Butler put together as his same game parlay. Bills money line, Diggs over 75.5 receiving yards is what it is right now. Josh Allen over 250 yards passing. Tannehill over 10.5 yards rushing. Derrick Henry anytime touchdown score. That sounds good to me. I'm going to go ahead and put some money on that. Congrats to D-Bud putting a good bet out.
Hey, baby D-Buds.
Hey, baby D-Bud. Love everything about it. That should hit. There's no reason it shouldn't. Now, for the Titans and Bills game, kicking off at 7:16 p.m. Eastern time on the this is why we can't have the things right in the middle. You see, we're covering up. Yep, there we go. That's all getting figured out. Anyway, so 7:16 Eastern Time kickoff live on ESPN, I do believe. The Titans are getting 10 points on the road in Buffalo. Damn. AJ Hawk, 10 points for Vrabes in the former number one AFC seeded team going into the playoffs last year. How do you feel Titans-Bills is going to end up? Do you like the Bills minus 10, pal?
10 just seems like so much. Now, is this the game that Orlovsky's on?
Yes.
I would assume. I mean, I don't know. That shouldn't change how I pick the game, but I'm curious. I want to know. I want to see how he does. I know he's excited to get there, so I'm pumped for him. But, man, I love the Bills. Obviously, I love Vrabes. 10 points seems like a bunch, but I like the Bills, man. I'm going Bills minus 10.
Okay, Bills minus 10, and everything that he showed about Josh Allen and the Let's Run at Hasselback reconfirmed your narrative of doing that?
Yeah, I was already probably there, but I think it definitely, it made me feel good about it. It gave me confidence.
All right, give me the Titans plus 10.
Okay.
Give me the Bills to win, though.
Okay.
Okay.
So that's a twofer.
Well.
Yeah, just
That's
like
a
on
twofer.
Thursday night.
That's a twofer.
That's a twofer.
Do it.
I can catch
Do
up.
it.
And then
Try to get below 500. Come on, let's do it.
Well, going 500 where I'm at right now doesn't do me anything if I don't beat you. Okay?
Yeah.
I don't want to go 0-1.
I like this. This is good.
Yeah.
I don't want to go 1-1. Then I'm sitting here exactly like the Colts.
Right.
Where we get the tie, I need to catch up. So I got Titans plus 10, Bills to win, though.
Okay.
This might be a bet, though, that as I'm watching, I go, the Bills, this is a buzzsaw. We
Not
literally
again.
just broke down film. Hasselbeck just told you they're going to be unstoppable. What are you even thinking? I think Braves will be able to figure it out, keep it within 10, although the Bills do get a win at home in a sold-out stadium that we tried to get tickets to, couldn't find any
Couldn't
tickets.
do it.
Tried to get to this game tonight, couldn't get there. We'll have to do that in the future. Vikings-Eagles. Vikings getting 2.5 points in Philadelphia. This game, I believe, is on ABC with the Monday Night Football crew of Joe Buck and Troy Aikman. How do you think this game goes, A.J. Hawk?
I like the Vikings here at plus 2.5. I really do. I know what Hasselbeck put up there and Justin Jefferson run those deep overs. If you get enough time, yeah, that dude, it's a very, very difficult play to defend. I'm sure O'Connell has more wrinkles involved off of that, different things to try to confuse Philly. But I think both these teams are good, but I like the Vikings.
Packers looked very good against the Bears, right?
Yeah,
Were they a whole new team this week? Did they play vastly different than they played last week? Or are the Vikings potentially a fucking dog team this year?
I think both. I think the Vikings are very, very good, and also the Packers played like shit last week, but I think the Vikings are very good.
I'll take the Vikings as well, plus 2.5. No offense to Philadelphia Eagles. No offense to Paulie B back there, audio guy. He's a massive Eagles fan. He says John and does the whole cheesesteak bit whenever he's around. And I appreciate and respect that whole thing. You can really just rile up Philadelphia people pretty easily.
Very easily.
And I love how passionate they all are.
You have
With
to.
that being said, I'll take Kirk Cousins and Justin Jefferson over Jalen Hurts and A.J. Brown. Whether that's right or wrong, we're going to find out this evening. So I got the Titans plus 10, Bills to win outright. I got the Vikings plus 2.5, and I also like the under in that game.
Okay.
I like the under.
What is it?
49.5.
That's a lot.
You're staying away from that?
No, I'll take the over. Give me the over. Why not?
Okay. Now we're starting to dance a little bit, aren't we? We got a packed night of Monday Night Football.
I love when I started doing this. When I started to do this to add bets onto it, like for these last couple games. No, you can't do that. What are you doing? You can't. That's not right.
You started this.
What are you talking about?
What are you
I know.
saying?
And you wouldn't let me start it. You didn't let me.
Yeah, you're telling me last year I wasn't trying my best to fucking steal wins out of you. Are you lying? Come on. This is the only segment we do year in, year out, pal.
All right. Hey, fair and good. I feel good about my picks tonight.
Okay. So you got the Vikings in the over. I got the Vikings in the under. And I got the Titans plus 10 and the Bills money line.
Yep.
Now we're talking.
Yeah. Here we go.
Let's have a Monday night. Zito just dropped in my ear that we do have some phone calls. We have the ability to do some 5-hour energy phone line. I'm excited about that. Let's go to a couple phone calls here then. Let's hit the 5-hour energy phone line on this Overreaction Monday, September 19th. Let's go to Brandon in Pennsylvania. Brandon, how you doing, pal? What do you want to talk about? No, we do not.
Yeah, I didn't. I was
Going into the thing, we should have known that we probably did not have it. I believe Hammered Down will be off for today as we figure this out. Tone and his wife went into labor this morning out of nowhere.
Yep.
Literally out of nowhere. Congratulations.
Congrats, you guys.
I don't want to dive too much into their information, but I do believe it is worth stating that it was not expected to happen at this particular time. A couple weeks, they thought they had. It came in. They are beautiful baby. Saw a picture. Beautiful baby. Happy baby. I think everybody's good in the entire situation. And now Tone is a father. So we will have to figure out what's going to happen with Hammer Down for the next few weeks. We also have exciting new things to unveil in this particular studio in the Thunderdome. Can't wait for that. And we're back tomorrow with another Aaron Rodgers Tuesday. I mean, not a bad start here at the Thunderdome.
Not bad.
glorious.
I expected full failure.
Yeah.
Shoot. Because technology
Really?
is technology. Yeah. Because, I mean, there's been a lot of people working, like, tirelessly to connect things and do this and do that. And I appreciate all of them trying to, button it all up before they get in there. But technology is going to technology. If it doesn't want to work on a Monday and it worked on a Sunday, like, it's going to do that. So we're going to have to work some things through some things here to really find our groove. But I think today, all in all, a success. And I'd like to thank everybody for behind the scenes doing what they're doing.
Absolutely. I mean, you expected it to happen because it's weird. But anytime it's just like, hey, Z, you got to figure all this shit out, okay? This needs to work. It always does. Anytime it's basically anyone other than Zeke, there are just some issues or complications for whatever reason, because it is, there's a lot of shit that got installed here. But, all things considered, hey, we had a show. It went off without a hitch.
Wow, there was a hitch. There was no audio at the beginning for the mics.
True.
Yeah. But Nick was on 45 different things.
Right.
And then the audio did
Very
sound
crackly.
terrible.
It did.
For a bit of the first hour. Mm-hmm. But on the flip side.
Visually.
Had some adversity, battled through it.
Hell yeah.
Live during the show.
Mm-hmm.
I'm proud of everybody. Bill said we got service too, and I mean, no offense to Comcast, they fucked us completely.
Oh yeah, big time.
Yeah,
That's what they do.
They completely fucked us here. Shout out to Metronet coming through.
Yeah.
Thank you, Metronet.
Gig up, gig down. Comcast, the person we were working with, either quit or went to another job. They didn't tell us. So we reached out to that person whenever we needed the Comcast. Oh, sorry, that person doesn't work anymore. We'll send you somebody else. That person quits 2 days after we start talking to them. We don't get pawned off to other things. So we thought we maybe had no internet in this place. Metronet comes through in a big way. Hey, we appreciate Metronet.
Thank you, Metronet.
Coming through in a huge way. Nathan and Matt for hooking up all the TVs and all the tech stuff. We appreciate them. And once again, for Vig, Deepak, Derek, Doug, Austin, and Paulie B. Thank you for all your work on the studio here. To Sean and the construction company, which there is so many people to say thank you to. Thank you for all your hard work and diligent hours.
Thank you.
Tim McAfee, blood, sweat, and tears into this place for a lot of hours. Too much. He's like Pavlov's dogs. You know what I mean? Like, you ring the bell, give the treat, you drool. You give Tim a job, he's just going to go in there until he dies. He's like one of those hound dogs that sniffs until they're dead.
Yep.
That's what Tim McAfee is. I appreciate all your hard work, Tim. Thank you, pal.
Tim.
Thank you, pal. That's literally what the guy is. It is.
Tim's the man.
Yeah.
Is he? I mean.
I don't know if the Pavlov's dogs analogy works exactly right with that, but yeah, I get it.
Yeah, you give him a task. So Pavlov's dog is ipso facto, basically. You give Tim a task, he's literally not going to sleep until he finishes it. That's just kind of how it goes. And I should have known that whenever we said, like, hey, Tim, we don't have enough people to maybe go oversee it. He comes in here. He moved into this place, basically, for the last 18 months. And I'm excited to see the transition of it, like it's not his place anymore either. That's going to become a thing, I think.
Oh, it's his place. It is Tim's place.
Yeah.
Don't mess it up.
There's 7 different apps that we have to learn how to use to operate all these things, and like it might sound easy to the people that installed it, what it is.
Right.
Then Tim will have to be our teacher, but Tim needs to go take a nap for a few days for the good of everybody. I'm very thankful for him. Thankful for everybody that did this. Now, I'm proud of what we've been able to accomplish.
Absolutely.
I'm proud that we're able to come in here. I have no idea how much longer we'll be doing the Daily Show. I mean, obviously for the next 3 years, but there's people that do this for 20-some years. I can promise you that ain't going to happen. We're not going to be doing this for 20-some years, although I wish I had the stamina and the mental toughness to be able to do it. But for the next 3 to 4 years, is we're going to go hard every single day, lucky to do it, enjoy doing it. We might as well have a sick place to come work at. All of your guys' hard work, all of the things that we have gone through and accomplished lead us to this particular place. We will be able to have a live audience. We'll be able to do shit. This is a real cool moment for our entire company, and I'm thankful for everybody, AJ.
Believe me, it's awesome. What it is now from when you started it, yeah. I mean, it's pretty unbelievable what has happened, and for me at least. Trust me, I have a lot of fun. Like, I love it. I absolutely love coming on here.
Well, we're lucky to have you. Can't wait for you to see this place. Let's use the hashtag PMS Live in the Thunderdome.
Hell yeah.
And we'll give $500 to 20 people. All you got to do is screenshot this moment right now. You should do the wide. You should do the wide. Put your cash tag, say something nice to somebody, and we'll be back in about 20 hours and 40 minutes or so with an Aaron Rodgers Tuesday. If this ball goes in, it'll be 40 people for $500.
Oh, hell yeah.
Oh, my.
Jeez.
I am so sorry. Only 20 winners. Hashtag PMS live in the Thunderdome. Say something nice to somebody. Put your hashtag in there and a screenshot from earlier. You all are the best people on earth. We'll see you tomorrow. You are the only reason this happens, and I can't fucking thank you enough. Good work, everybody. Take 20 hours in 40 minutes or so. After 2 more Monday Night Football games, we'll wrap up week 2 with Aaron Rodgers, Mignogna, and more conversation. Goodbye. Take 20. See ya.